Hello, welcome back for episode 13 of the second season of Water, which is our season finale. I'm excited to see where the survivors go with this. If we actually get into the water or not, we'll find out. Before we dive into all that, though, I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves and their characters, starting with top left. So, Alex, tell us a little bit about Susie and yourself.
Damn it! I was enjoying not being first. Hi, I'm Alex. I'm a digital artist. You can find me around online at Can Chaos Art. I'm starting to look into doing larger poster-sized prints. If there's anything in particular of my artwork you would be interested in, something like that, contact me on Twitter. So I play Susie, who is best described as, you know, the meme. What do you have? Hey, folks,
knife.
What does Susie have?
A knife.
Knife. Yeah.
Yeah, she's your 15-year-old with a knife. I even have one tonight.
Yep, it is.
Terrifying.
But yeah, she's trauma bonded pretty damn hard to all these people now. So none of you are allowed to die. Only she is.
Oh, I'm pretty sure Lyle and Quackers are the only ones who can't die. They are secretly immortal. But anyways, Zan, tell us a little bit about TC and yourself.
Yeah, most certainly. So hi, I am Zan. I'm a professional DM and content creator for 5e, World of Darkness, powered by the Apocalypse, and a whole bunch of other really cool little systems out there. You can find me here now. I also make pretty regular appearances over on Polished Cryptid's channel, a Tactics channel, and my own channel. And today I'm playing TC, who is a gruff but not unkind guy. Might have blown up some stuff a time or two, but who amongst us hasn't? None of us throw the first stone unless you have the repulsion cannon like I do. TC is kind of a survivor type. He is the only one currently planning on not leaving the island, not leaving the planet when the situation arises. Yeah.
All right. Next we've got Pat. Tell us a little bit about yourself and Owen.
Hi, yeah, I'm Pat. I'm a tactic on Places Online. I play stuff. I play TTRPGs and video games. Places like here and my channel and Polished channel, and any friends that want me to play with them. Words. Owen is who else I'm talking about. Owen was and is still, I guess, a cook, and is not planning on staying on this planet because fuck that noise. I don't know what else to say about him besides, he's got nanobots, he's got a nerve gas gun he's not used yet. He's got a lot of random bullshit, and he wants to leave. And he's just going to keep throwing those things at other things until a rocket gets made.
It's a pretty good description, I think. All right. Next, Ecuador Lex couldn't make it tonight, but definitely give him a follow on Twitter and Twitch. He's super cool. We'll see him next season. Excuse me. So last but not least, we've got Jay. Tell us a little bit about Tamsin and yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jay, or Alien Jays. You can find me on Twitter, nh.io at Alien Jays. And I'm a writer, a role player, and a game dev now. Oops. I'll also be doing more of the writing aspect stuff soon once the game dev has slowed down a bit. But tonight I'm playing Tamsin, who is an astrophysicist way past giving a shit. It would seem she's very much keen to get off this planet, much like Owen is. and she's really keen on not having to deal with Wilfred, because by all accounts, he has not been the most pleasant of people to deal with, and we had a recent encounter with him. So I'm excited to see whether or not he shows up. Excited to see what tries to eat us when we get in the water, because that's the only thing that is in the water, stuff that eats us or we eat it. And if there's really anything we can do rocket-wise this season, or if that'll have to wait.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm really interested to see what direction you all go tonight. Because there are multiple paths that you can go down to try to get off the planet, and I'm really excited to see which one you pick. That just leaves me. So I'm Raven. I'm the creative director for the Raven Evermore, which is my brand for all the various different things that I do, many of which are tabletop related. You can find links to all of those different things at linktr.ee/theraven, spelled just like it says below my face here. And then, yeah, I play the planet and everything else on it, essentially. And then before we jump into everything else, quick word on sponsors, which is Fundamental RPG, which is the system that this game's built on. You can pick up your copy at Amazon. Just search for Fundamental RPG or Raven Evermore, and it should pop right up on Amazon. You can also get a digital version or character sheets at coffee.com/raven/shop. Just like it says in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, just add /shop to the end of it. You can also, at that same website, find Intrepid, which is another sponsor, which is adventuring gear for real life. So there's some really cool athletic and casual wear, things like coffee mugs and water bottles and mouse pads and things like that. And I just added some new 20-ounce water bottles that are currently I've got 3 different variations for Pride Month that's coming up. So currently there is the Pride colors, there's the bi flag colors, and the trans flag colors. So it's some pretty cool stuff, and I have plans to add more as long as there is interest. So yeah, very cool stuff there. And then if you'd like to catch up on this show or others on the channel, you can do so at Fantasy Network, which is just watch.thefantasy.network. Oh my goodness, I'm just looking at chat, sorry. Yeah, just go to the Fantasy Network, look for the Stream Library and Black Feather Guild, and all of our shows are there. And then yeah, we'll go ahead and jump in. Before we get started, though, just a quick reminder. Excuse me, Tamsin currently has an advantage. Susie currently has an advantage. You have 6d6 available and 0 crits. And then I've got 6d6 and 2 crits available for fun stuff with Fish and Rylands and Wilfred. So, with that in mind, where did we leave off last week? I know there was the whole bayou thing.
Forgot about that. I think we ended with everyone like safe back on the island. We'd set up the nuclear reactor on the base.
Yeah, I had stolen a nuclear reactor.
That's right.
I
Yeah,
think that was kind of it.
Yeah, you got it tied into the moon pole area.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oh, and I believe there was some note about us needing to find some way to eventually disperse power from the reactor
because it was building up too much without anywhere to go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. And we hooked it up to the fridge as well as a backup.
Mm-hmm.
I have one quick question on assets. Linguist, can I take that with Susie now that she's started to learn an alien language?
Yeah.
As my asset. Thank you.
That would work. Let me just double check it and make sure it's actually going to be like beneficial, or if it's just something that you already have. Okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. All right then. Then I'm gonna assume the night passes. You all, get food and everything, and you're good to go. What's the plan from here? Are you gonna go try to find that power plant that's really deep under the ocean? Or do you have other plans? Do you want to try to build the rocket first, for example?
I think at least last session, we had discussed going to the power plant first. Is that right?
I think so. Yeah, we were worried about the consequences of energy and things.
And Wilfred's.
And Wilfred's. That's fair.
Yeah.
I'm sure he drowned.
Now
It's
we can
fine.
probably take him, right? Yeah.
Well, see, he is probably healing at a little bit slower of a rate since he doesn't have access to that good filter water that we have.
Oh no. Anyway.
Just an inferior
It heals so goddamn fast.
My fucks about Wilfred have about the same level as the sea level. It's kind of 0. Evens, yeah.
Would you consider your fucks for him to be underwater?
I wouldn't call him that deep, no. So I'm for power plant. That's my vote.
I think TC would be on board.
Okay.
I'd be game for that.
You've got one of the large subs, which can normally hold one small sub or one TUM suit, if you would like, since you've got Luna there to help out. I'll say that you can modify it to carry 2 TUM suits if you would like.
Yes, I was actually going to ask about that. So yes, definitely.
Susie is enthused about her new her mech, which she has started to paint.
How many TUM suits do we have again?
3 currently.
Okay.
So I mean,
so it's I would. Will it take resources, Luna, for you to get the second TUM suit on there?
I have a horrible
use
idea of how we could get all 3 TUM suits down.
So
Somebody just hangs on the outside.
I was gonna say
that was my first idea, but I've got a better idea.
To get the 2 in there, I'm gonna say no extra resources. It's just reconfiguring what's there. I was gonna say if you want the third one, you're gonna have to like strap it to the outside or something.
Or I mean, we already established that the mechs do just fine through the teleporter. So we go there, hit the return button, 2 of us, and then come back with the suits.
If the teleporter will go there.
That is true, yeah.
Because it doesn't allow mechanical things inside.
But you could do it outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, depending on range.
Especially if you kept the boat in place, you could just teleport back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You could technically just teleport back onto the sub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if there's enough room for us to walk around, there's probably enough room to like shove it against one wall and, squeeze by it if we need to.
Yeah. You could certainly try that.
We're not going to be able to get it out, though.
Fine, it's fine.
That's what the buttons are for.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you want to make sure you have a really good discipline if you're going to try that, because if you roll a nat 1, you could blow a hole in the side of your sub.
Everybody's... Owen will make sure that everyone has a return button for their teleporter.
You say hole in the sub, I say octopus's garden.
Oh my god.
But no, I like the teleporting plan better, because if the grappler fails partway down, you're just gonna sink.
I also feel like it's almost like a lure or like a cat toy. If something's just like hanging off the
little
side.
bit, yeah.
Hey, you could go Kraken Viper fishing.
Mm-hmm. We could, yeah.
If we manage to drive the sub down the throat.
You just dangle the TUM suit from the bottom of it, and then it bites the TUM suit, and then you just reel it in with the sub.
Technically, we could jury rig the nuclear reactor to become a bomb, Raven, but I don't know that it's a good idea. The thought did cross my mind.
Isn't that what Boris did?
Are we not introducing nuclear warfare to this planet?
Isn't that what he did by what he did with the sub?
Basically, and
I'm
yes,
not recommending
that would be the most human thing you could possibly
it
do.
sure would.
Sadly.
and on
That's
this planet for literally 3 months.
Not even half a
and
year.
not even a full fucking season.
Yeah.
And we've introduced nuclear war. Wow, what a metaphor for fucking humanity we are.
I didn't say I wanted to, just said it was an option because we have a nuclear reactor. I mean, granted, we did try to weaponize a calming effect, so
Mhm. Oh yeah, I mean, a biological weapon was one of the first things I made.
so
I mean, we are biological weapons if we want to be.
Um,
ugh.
one thing to
Um,
keep in mind, if you are traveling, you will have to start worrying about food and water again.
Right.
So make sure you have those resources and that you take them with you.
I was also going to ask, do we have like, not necessarily coordinates, but do we have a rough distance to this place? Do we have any idea of where we're supposed to be looking? Because I can't quite remember.
Yeah, it's very deep.
Just down. Just go down.
It's sort of like max depth for the sub. So it's going to take you a long time to get down that far. And then it is further, a lot further west from where you are right now. So it'll be a pretty decently long journey. I don't
Longer
have,
than a
like,
week?
the exact possibly.
Okay.
Oh. I don't think Owen did the math on any of this.
Yeah, no.
Until someone brought it up, like just.
I think Tamsin's literally doing the math now, and she's like, oh,
It's a good bet. You'll probably have to like get more food or water, or like bring one of your desalinators with you or something like that.
Wait, it's a shame we can't move the island wherever we want.
You could certainly try.
No, we tried. We definitely tried already.
I mean, again, we should bring food and water, but depending on how bold people are being with the teleporter, they can teleport back for more food.
It's an option.
It's true.
It's an option.
Just if you're feeling very on point for teleporting back to the sub.
Here's the problem though. If we don't want to choose the sub to teleport back to, you would have to remember a specific spot in like a endless ocean.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be 2 centimeters from that particular shade of blue.
Yeah, exactly.
You would also have to stop the sub, or risk.
Because the island has moved, right?
Different speeds, I think.
Yeah.
I'm definitely wondering about that.
Yeah, fair.
What we could do is bring just something inflatable to
The
the
island also.
Oh, that is true.
and just we could teleport to the inflatable.
Use that as a
thing.
buoy.
Yeah. Like a
Returning
raft
to
or
the island
something.
also has like a pre-programmed button, so it just homes in on the teleporter itself.
Yeah, the island has something to solidify it within its space.
And yeah, again, I think the island is moving relatively slower than the sub does.
I was going to say, without having any of the science words to ask, at some point I would have asked Tamsin to explain like the relative motion of the island and the teleporter.
Yeah, she would have done her best on that, because it's like, it's like the difference between watching the sun and watching like a car go by. Like they're both moving, but one is very much. She probably explains it like the parallax effect, if anything. Like when you're in a car and the stuff next to you on the road is moving real quick, and then the stuff in the distance is like. It's kind of like that.
I love how nerdy this group is.
Science words.
Like,
So-
I understand these things, and it's fun to talk about. Science is awesome.
Science is awesome. As Bill Nye once said, science rules.
Bill!
You're
Bill
welcome.
Nye the Science Guy.
So if we're planning for, let's say, 2 weeks, just to be sure, could we
I'd say that's
reasonably
a safe
fit 2 weeks worth of supplies on the ship? Because we don't really have any, we haven't tried, which I feel dumb for not having tried. We haven't tried drying anything
Oh,
to
we could
preserve
try that.
food.
there's also like the sub's pretty big, You could also potentially grow food on the sub.
I was wondering about it, but I didn't know how like grow lights and everything would
So,
work.
about all those grow beds that Susie ordered.
Yeah, you could.
2 of them
break
are on
down
the
and
sub. 2 of them are already on the sub.
rebuild them on the
She's
sub.
already
Yeah.
she's already planted stuff on the sub. That was where 2 of them were supposed to go.
It's funny when you said you could deconstruct them, because all I pictured was like 4 of us like, oh, pivot, and like, don't dump the dirt out.
This
Didn't
reminds
even
me
cross
when
my
you're
mind.
like trying to figure out the intricate pulley system for something,
Oh,
and then somebody
yeah.
mentioned like, or we could just teleport it.
Mhm.
The first time you try to open a futon.
The first time you try to move a couch inside someone's house.
Yeah.
Who designed these stairs?
Anyways,
Yeah, we could just teleport it.
or that.
Why is it never the simple option? God. Okay. Raven, can I do some maths to determine
Sure.
how much food the 2 grow beds would get us? Like how much it would knock off of our supplies?
Yeah. Trying to remember how much food comes out of one of those. I think you'd probably let's say 1 grow bed would have enough sustainability to feed 2 people. So it's not like, a day's worth of food for 2 people every time you harvest,
Mm-hmm.
but like you could take some of the food and wait for it to grow and everything enough you could sustain 2 people off of 1 grow bed.
Okay.
So
And if
you'd
we
probably
make
need
sure
like,
we have bunch of food already prepped and stuff.
Mhm.
yeah, so you could mostly take care of your food requirements, but you'll definitely need to supplement it with something else.
Okay.
I feel like on the first island, or back at the tub, I feel like we salted fish.
I
at some
think we
point.
did. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
That sounds familiar.
but that's
Yep.
so long ago now.
Oh yeah, not that we
Oh,
still
oh,
have around.
We should,
Yeah.
we should have a shit ton of salt though, because our desalinator has been constantly going this entire time, and it makes salt.
I think that's why we did it.
Yeah.
But we haven't been using any of the salt from the desalinator
No.
lately.
Yeah,
So
it's pretty much just been building
could
up
set up a
giant
smokehouse.
store of that.
we could set up a proper smokehouse.
Hmm.
Just not in the pea house. You do not
It's-
need those
no,
smells mixing.
it's fine. We neutralized those smells last session. We made a
Ow.
filter. We made a filter out of the rock because it's a natural antibacterial.
Yeah, and if you want, that can be something that happened during that last month training montage that we had.
I can see that if we're planning to make this long trip.
Yeah. So with I think you still have the grab traps and nets and stuff. Yeah, I'd say you probably have enough. You're able to catch and preserve enough fish to supplement the 2 grow beds to where all of you could eat for the next couple weeks.
Also,
dried fish.
probably got salted eggs too.
Definitely bringing along a few bags.
The birds'
of-
nests, all through the jungle and the trees and stuff.
Oh,
Salt
yeah.
eggs.
I guess so. Yeah.
Just do century eggs. They're a great source of protein and sulfur.
They are,
I know
definitely
we got
sulfur.
eggs at one point.
What
I'm
were you
gonna
saying, Sam?
I'm gonna bring some a couple of bags of the pebbles from the pond that we get the pure water from, just in case we need to like emergency filter
Jury rig
anything.
something. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like
Okay.
the desalinator is really nice and it's a good thing to have, but
Cool.
also we have a backup plan.
We can construct that, right? Because we have the blueprints now to actually make that material.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, you can.
okay. I thought it was an alien substance. I didn't think we could make it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, if you didn't have it already, because I know the philosopher gave you the blueprint for the stone metal.
Mhm.
If I didn't already have him give you the stuff for the filter rock as well, then yeah, he
I
does
think
that.
you
Okay.
did, but yeah, okay.
So yeah, you can make that, and it's basically I can't remember what I said it was before. I know the metal is dirt and titanium, so this is probably something like dirt and salt.
Okay.
Checks out. Question. Here's a weird question. Could we theoretically, like, almost like bedliner, coat the sub with this, like, rock metal? Give it an extra, like, shell almost.
You wanting to like armor it?
Yeah, because last time we kind of needed that.
Yeah.
Oh, that might be a brilliant idea on the sub.
Mhm.
It's not super shapeable to like round surfaces
Okay.
super well, but you could probably do something like scale mail or something like that.
Oh, right, like
I was about to
overlapping
say-
plates.
Overlapping plates. maybe?
Okay.
Yeah. So it wouldn't be like an exact like copy of the shell, but
Mhm.
essentially it'd be armor plating.
I
That
think
would
Thames would
take-
look into that.
That would take some engineering to figure out. So
okay with
I'll
that.
need a mechanical engineering role and then a tech engineering role.
Well, it just
one
so
being to
happens those are my
basically-
best.
Yeah, one to basically being like design it on paper, and the other to
Right.
program it into the fabricator.
Okay. What is the
Okay.
rule? What are you? 36? Okay. And then, as long as it's not a 1, yeah, 30.
30. Your design is better than what you program into the fabricator.
That sounds right.
Unless you'd like to use a D6, you could try to boost that a bit.
Yeah, you know what? It's our safety. I think it's worth it if everyone else is cool with that. A 1.
I was going to say you also have an advantage, but I have a feeling you might want to save that.
I'm gonna save that. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
30 is still a pretty good result.
Yeah, so a 31 after the D6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so what you designed is better than what you're able to program into the fabricator, but it still works. It's just not quite as hydrodynamic.
Okay.
So your sub's going to go just a tiny bit slower than it would before,
Okay.
because it's got some sort of blocky edges and
Right.
and it's not 100% covering every bit of the sub, but it's over the important bits.
Thanks, Pat. It's a very polite way of telling me I half-assed.
Just so you could have done better.
Where did those fangs come from, Pat? What the fuck?
And you're also because some of you have had up close experience with Kraken Vipers, you're able to estimate like where teeth marks would or teeth
Right.
impacts would happen if it tried to bite onto the sub, and kind of put extra armor there.
Cool.
So yeah, you've got it's a little beefier. It can take a little bit more of a beating.
Yeah, I'm not expecting it to survive the encounter, intact, but it may be in better shape than it would be otherwise.
Oh, for sure. Unless somebody teleports a Tum suit halfway through the wall and it explosively decompresses.
That becomes new armor. We just weld around it. It's like an escape pod.
Okay.
TC is gonna probably, while all the modifications on the sub were happening, the same way that like we kind of put together an attachment for the Tums to have the repulsion cannon. TC probably tried to work some way to use the propulsion cannon on the outside of the tub as well while we were modifying it and stuff.
So what are you doing with the repulsion cannon?
I'm trying to figure out a way to
Or propulsion cannon, sorry.
a way to stick it out of the hole, or to
Of
mount
the
it on the
sub?
outside. Yeah, mount it on the outside. Maybe hook some wires and stuff up to it, and then control it from the inside.
Are you trying to do a drive-by?
I'm thinking it might be
somewhere?
necessary at some point because Kraken Vipers
This
don't have
kind
a
of
great
reminds
tracker.
me, those little cannons they have on naval ships, like the little tiny
Yeah.
That's kinda what that reminds me of.
cannons. Yeah. Let me put
The
it this
came
way.
with a big question mark there, Raven.
It's possible. However, it would be about trying to take one of those old deck cannons and trying to shoot a nuclear submarine with it. it would not be very effective.
Okay, all right. You know what? That's fair. That's fair.
Like the thinking.
Yeah, I love the
We
idea.
need
but it
arms.
would-
We need something to throw if we get in trouble.
you would have more luck probably just grappling onto it with a Tum suit and punching it in the eye.
Actually, no, never mind. That's a whole different line of reasoning.
Which might give you new ideas, but I love the thought. It just wouldn't be effective against what you're going up against.
And anytime the TC is like playing around with the propulsion cannon or repulsion, I've already forgotten which it is, but whichever one it is.
Propulsion picks it up and throws it. Repulsion just like goes fuck off.
I say propulsion cannons and propulsion.
any scene where that's happening, if you zoomed out, Owen is like crouched hiding in the background with the one that he stole from the beach, like trying to like mimic how to use it and learn how to use the gun.
Instead of just asking for like a little bit of practice shot, for, like, communication, folks, communication.
I wanna. I don't want to go in like a total novice with.
Communication has not been this party's strong suit with these characters.
If it's like any of the other weapons Owen's acquired, it's just gonna hang on his belt and never see any use. I don't think I've fired my like nerve gas mochi gun once.
Nerve gas mochi gun. I love that. All right. So you've got grow beds, you've got preserved meat, you've got 2 Tums able to be hooked up into the sub. Is there anything else that you would like to do before you start your journey?
Who else is coming with? Because I know, like, us 4. Is Luna coming with? Is Lyle coming with? Like, are we basically leaving the philosopher alone on the island?
Oh, I'd be.
It's a good question. I will answer part of that with a question of my own, or more of a thing to note. The more people you take with you, the more food you're going to need, and resources you're going to need.
Counterpoint, I'm leaving the island, and I don't know if we've established any of these other assholes know how to cook anything. So regardless of who comes with and who goes, I imagine I'm just whatever fucking recipes I have that'll last, I'm just preparing like a month's worth of casseroles at this point.
If Luna knows how to make a damn still, I'm pretty sure she can make a potato casserole.
We're just gonna come back and find her wasted, subsisting on the fucking alcohol.
And still alive. Also, it's like 2 weeks. Nobody's going to starve to death. It's really hard to starve to death in 2 weeks.
But it's not pleasant.
Well, no, it's not a good time, but, we have parties about it, There are parties and...
Pretty sure Luna's like, oh, gee, do I know how to cook a frickin' piece of fruit? Let's see. Take it off the tree, eat it. Easy as pie.
Look, if we left them no food, Quackers
Do
would
not
eat Lyle
eat
within
the
3
crickets.
days.
Do not. Susie is just piping up out of nowhere. You don't know where she came from. She was probably buried underneath a large pile of grass. Do not eat the crickets.
Refresh my memory. Did we actually cook them?
I mixed them in. Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't remember if we'd eaten them raw or something. Okay.
Yeah. I included them with the rest of the food as I cooked it, just to mix up our protein sources.
Yep. So yeah, the answer being essentially whoever's left on the island, yeah, they'll be fine. There's food to eat that you don't have to cook.
As long as I wouldn't leave the philosopher here alone, and I probably wouldn't leave the philosopher here alone with just one person.
The philosopher could also be taken with you. They don't require food, so
they could also leave. Have we pitched that idea yet? There's like a whole planet they could go to.
I mean, you're welcome to pitch that idea to the philosopher if you would like.
I imagine this conversation is happening within earshot of the philosopher.
Susie shows up with a knife and it's like, he hasn't finished teaching me yet.
Has he taught you enough that you can finish getting taught by
Nope.
the other native speakers?
Nope.
Awkward silence ensues.
Susie's
So-
just like, are you done? Done trying to tell my teacher to go away?
I mean, I guess for now we can wait, and you just let us know when your piece of shit tutor can hit the bricks.
Alright.
I think at this point, even the philosopher's like, I am right here.
Yeah, you don't have to keep reminding me. I've offered alternatives.
Oh my god. Oh, I know what my comeback would be, but the philosopher's too passive.
Her philosopher's is like, I don't understand these aliens. They're weird, man.
Listen, I've got... From introduction of the philosopher, Owen has beef with it.
Owen has been so fucking done with the whole idea of the fucking philosopher the entire time, and I love it.
It's true.
I just love that
think
nobody has broached the subject on why.
Yeah.
They've just accepted it as random Owen bullshit.
You know, we got other stuff to deal with. I'm not. If you got beef with someone, as long as you're not fighting him, I think it's fine.
Ooh, D6s to me. Thank you so much, Michael. This is very nice. I appreciate that. So I get 8 D6 now to use on things.
See, Raven, this is the beauty of sadomasochism. I could like it either way. It's great. My brain, as soon as you get more D6, is like, okay, yay.
I feel like the philosopher at this point also is like, anytime Owen needs to know something. Now, before it was just, I want to tell you a story. Now it's just like, I'm going to tell you this in the longest possible way. Just to spite you.
Just scrolling on my tablet. Just not even making eye contact.
It just sets a timer on his tablet and comes back in like an hour.
And that was the first part of the etymology of the word that I just used. Now for the second part.
The worst part is Susie just listens and like records it all in rapt attention.
Yeah. The philosopher's literally the equivalent of just stay a while and listen on permanent loop.
Yeah, I'll just skip class and borrow Susie's notes later. It's fine.
Perfect. So who all's going on this wild and wacky adventure? So Susie, of course.
Ems is definitely going.
Okay,
I think it's all of us, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
kinda
let's do
figured.
it.
So that's 4.
And then
Mhm.
who do we want any guests? Is the
You've
question.
got Allison, Luna, Lyle, and Quackers, and the philosopher, who you can also bring with you.
The only one I would even be like, maybe is the philosopher.
Same.
Susie's actually gonna be like, hey,
This is the most
he
useless
knows
place
more
to take
about
him.
the tech than we do.
But he also can't go inside.
Didn't he say he would die if he came with?
I'm more
no.
thinking like the language
Yeah.
than the tech.
Yeah, I mean,
I can read the language.
no, you
Thank you
can't
again,
because
Michael.
no technology works inside. And have you bothered to study the notes of the language I've been taking? No.
I'm sorry, the
I
walls
see
are gonna
that-
have tongues. Is it a written language?
Who knows?
Thank you so much, Michael, for the $10 donation for a disadvantage on the next PC roll to make it interesting.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice. I love that even when we're communicating, we suck at communicating. Like even when Susie and Owen are having an actual, like, oh, this is good to talk about. They're at each other's throats.
Okay.
Oh,
So it
Just
sounds like
unnecessary aggression.
sounds like for sure then Allison, Luna, Lyle, and Quackers are going to stay on the island. The good
What if
news
we
there
took
being,
Quackers with us?
oh my god, you can always, in theory, teleport back, grab them, and take them to the location.
Mhm.
Um,
I think, honestly, I think the buoy idea is a really good thing, because then we can test the range of it as well, test the teleportation range.
okay.
So we can get like as close above it as we think, and keep testing it on that. And then once we're down, then it's like all hands,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Like a buoy or like a
Kinda.
pontoon, even like kind of that style. Just something that'll float.
Something
Just a
that's
simple
not the
platform.
sub to teleport to.
Yeah, something that is a platform that we can stand on.
Or at least delineate between all the ocean.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can certainly craft something like that with blueprints and materials that you probably already have.
I was actually thinking I don't know what it's called. It's the thing we were using to lift the fridge.
The air bladders.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
We just
there's
tie that
nothing-
off essentially.
nothing really to keep that from drifting.
Well, I mean, with a Tums, if we stop the sub, have a Tums on the top of the sub, and then just like a balloon.
Gotcha.
It's literally just a marker. It's just so we don't explosive decompress the sub.
Okay.
So we have a landing pad basically.
Right. I was just saying, like, unless you have an anchor that's going to go all the way down to the bottom of the ocean, if it's on the surface, it will eventually drift away.
Oh yeah, well that's fine. It'll just do that.
Well,
little
not
slow.
while it's still attached by a string to the sub.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, if it's like if the
How-
Tums is literally just holding a rope to it,
Do we have a rope that's the length of the depth of the ocean? Is
we
the
wouldn't be
question.
at the bottom of the ocean. We would bring the sub up.
But like it's super deep, right? Like, I imagine at least a significant
see what
chunk
you're
of this
saying now.
trip is going to be the going down part.
You're
Yeah.
using the sub as the ocean floor in this scenario, essentially.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm with you now. Okay.
This is just when we're like when we found it, or like when we're near it, because we have to go a fair ways west. So while we're doing that, we can
Right.
be close to the surface.
Okay,
And then once
okay.
we're actually diving, then all bets are off.
Okay.
If that
I
makes
see.
sense at all.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, you could also just surface the sub and then teleport people there and then go back down.
Yeah, but what if we teleport into the sub? I like
I
my
see.
legs.
I
The
see.
sub-
Okay.
The sub could also just serve as a marker. Like, I'm going to teleport 20 feet away from the sub.
See, I always thought it had to be like within specificity to something. So I'm not super caught up in my teleportation physics. Anyway,
It just has to be the spot you're thinking of, essentially.
okay.
So,
Like, the closest equivalent I could think of is when we got Luna out. Like, I dived down essentially until I was about to or I was sinking. Dive down is too generous in the water for a while, and then teleported out. And then, but I had sank down low enough to see further down where she was that I could
Right.
teleport back to.
Right.
yeah. Yeah. It's essentially anything that you have line of sight to that,
Okay.
that you can, see in detail.
Okay.
Like if you look at the top of a mountain from the bottom of it, you can't really see that in great detail. So
Mhm.
maybe
Unless
you
we
can
use
teleport up there.
binoculars.
That's also an option. But like the further away from a spot that you've been, or like that you haven't actually set foot on but you've seen, the further away that is, the harder it is, essentially. It works on space thought magic. Okay, so
Powered
Tamsin,
by imagination.
Tamsin, Owen, TC, Susie, and Philosopher, yay or nay?
I'll vote nay. It seems more dangerous than beneficial.
Sure.
I mean, Owen would not want them there, but I'm excited of the possibility of them coming with and not coming back.
Why do
See,
you
this is
hate
one
the
of those
philosopher
spots.
so much? Oh my god.
I think when we're discussing that, Tamsin would actually ask Owen like what his beef is, because it seems very aggressive.
It is so personal, and yeah, what's the story, Owen?
So, I mean, I get where most of you all would be starting from neutral ground with the philosopher. But when we came back to the island, Allison was all like, oh, we owe them so much. They got beat up to protect us like we owe them. And like, we definitely don't fucking owe him shit. Because he was protecting the island and not us. But that still puts all of you at neutral ground, because none of you had to deal with the fact that the first time we fucking met him, he turned the rest of the group against you to the point where they had to go out and invent special guns to neutralize you. I'm still not a huge fan of him inspiring the rest of the group not to trust me. So I don't trust him.
Susie looks guilty as fuck now, and is just going the fuck away. She's not even arguing. She just, nope, I'm going.
Tamsin kind of nods and is like, I get where you're coming from, and I'm glad I wasn't, a part of the gun part, but I respect the whole, turning us against you. Yeah.
Yeah, not so. The gun part was part of it. It was more we trust this random robot more than the person we've been living
To
with.
be
Because
fair,
of that information.
most of that was Wilfred on my part, not the philosopher.
Oh, I know that, but
Yeah,
Owen needs someone here to direct his anger.
yeah, that's totally fair. And Tamsin's just like, she just says her piece and kind of like leaves it at that, because she's like, I'm not gonna burn bridges when there's literally only one bridge.
Protect the bridge at all costs.
Yeah. That's the last thing we're gonna burn. You're gonna sit on that while everything else is burning.
So I'm not going to shove him into some robot blender or anything if he comes with. But
if he happens to open the nuclear reactor on a night where no one else is around,
I wouldn't be upset if something happened.
Oh, what's that, Timmy? The philosopher fell in the piss house.
I'd protect anybody in our group, but I'm not breaking a sweat over him. I don't trust him.
That's fair.
Okay. Now that the secret's out on that.
Say this out in front of the philosopher.
I don't know. Because I feel like this would be a conversation the rest of the group. So I don't know if this is an intervention y'all have led or what.
No, I think it just came up. I think while we were discussing like whether to bring the philosopher along, it's probably on the sub if we're honest.
Yeah. I wouldn't have, if the philosopher was there already, then yes, I wouldn't have moved away for it. But
the philosopher's still just hanging out in the teleporter room. Like, unless you tell them to go to the sub, they're not going to go anywhere.
I think Tamsin would ask them, like, do you want to like sit on the beach or anything? Do you want a place to look at stuff?
They still seem like they don't feel like they're worthy of being back here on the island.
Tamsin does an eye roll and just says, like, if you want a place that's better than this dank cave, just ask one of them to move you.
goddamn, I was halfway through typing some "I'm not worthy of sand" bullshit in the chat, and then that was his actual line.
Yeah. He's like, I allowed myself to become this abomination. I'm not worthy.
I mean, Tamsin's a half second from
You got
slapping this
fucking
fucking.
kidnapped, you asshole.
That's exactly. Like, she's like, you didn't allow yourself. You had no choice in the matter. Stop being such a victim. We're all victims on this fucking planet. Go, if you want to go look at the ocean, go look at the ocean. You want to sit and be sad in your little cave, then go fucking do that. And she just storms out.
Can I get a speech roll for that?
Absolutely.
Actually with disadvantage, sorry.
Yeah, that's totally fine. I have a 5 in it anyway. Tamsin is not a good person. Yeah.
For
That's
a second
9.
they're almost like, maybe you're right, and then the literally millennia of self-loathing and doubt and whatnot comes back, and they're like, no, I'm not worthy.
I have the knowledge of ancients, but I won't even go look at sand. Sorry. I think it's just Tamsin being like, wow, I can actually like rip into someone for once.
Yeah, they're essentially like the super honorable anime character who's on their redemption arc journey that like nobody else understands.
Your redemption arc is sitting in a fucking room while a 15-year-old asks you about languages and tongues.
Yep.
Congrats.
And the whole time they're just like, I must redeem myself.
Well, you kind of have to get off your ass to redeem yourself a bit. Anyway, yeah, Tamsin would leave it at that, and she's kind of distant from there on.
Totally fine. All right, so sounds like Philosopher's not going with you.
Unless we teleport him, we won't even go to the beach. Like,
I mean, he'll do that if you want him to go to the sub, but
Oh my god. One day, Susie's just gonna, like, grab the philosopher, touch the teleporter, and just, like, drop him in the middle of the fucking Ryland village and then leave.
oh my god. That would go over well. That wouldn't cause a, diplomatic incident.
come back to see the philosopher's head just on a stick. Like, I wonder what happened.
Anyways. So, you've got your provisions, you've got your crew. Sounds like it's time to get going. Alright.
Who's piloting the sub?
I feel like everybody's touching their nose.
Yeah, it does seem that way.
Susie offers to pilot the sub.
Is it mechanical engineering, Raven?
It sure is.
Just so I know out of
Susie is
character,
like-
what's yours, Alex?
Oh god.
That sounds promising.
Mechanical,
Yeah.
6.
TC does have a 20.
Okay, I was gonna say I have 17, so TC, you're more than welcome to do it, and I can be backup.
Owen would only speak up in stopping you from pilot.
God, I'm suddenly imagining, like, Tab's like, so who's gonna pilot? And nobody says anything. So Susie starts to go for the piloting, and Owen just,
Nope.
like, grabs her by the back of the
Yeah.
suit.
And then Tamsin's like, TC, you must have some engineering experience. Anyone but Susie, please.
Yep.
You can't just stab a knife into it and make it work. Is that
28.
what you would actually say, though?
Sorry, 28 to get it started piloting?
28 to do the. Wow, my screen is flickering. It's 28 to pilot.
Pilot, okay. Yeah. You're able to get started and descend in the big sub and pull away from the island without any issues or bumping into anything at all. Probably one of the first things that you start to notice as you descend is that the ocean floor looks very different from, maybe not TC in particular, but for Tamsin and Susie and Owen. The ocean below looks very different from what you saw when you first got to this island. It's seems to go down and down, deeper and deeper, without really being able to see anything at first. You've got the lights on, but they seem to get swallowed up by the dark water, especially once you get to a certain depth where you're not really seeing a whole lot of sunlight from above. And as you descend deeper and deeper,
Susie starts talking about how different spectrums of light become less visible. You can tell just how deep you are by what colors you're able to see outside. And, like, we'll point out when we turn the sub lights on that shit lights up. There's colors.
Cool.
Also, sorry to interrupt. Is there any wildlife out?
Not yet that you've seen.
Okay.
There's some plant life, like what's the word I'm thinking of? Plankton or algae? Little bits floating around in the water. But you
Sea
hear
plankton and phytoplankton.
okay.
Real?
But as the ship or the sub descends, you start to hear the ping and the creaking, and that sort of metal bending kind of sound that's very disconcerting as you go down in a submarine. The sub's perfectly fine, but it's very disconcerting. Enough so that I think everybody should probably make a discipline roll to not be unnerved by it. Since you all haven't really gone super deep before. 23, 23, 28, and 28. Yeah, you're all fairly okay. Tamsin and TC, it starts to give you some anxiety, but you're able to sort of just push it to the back of your mind. After a while, probably around 400 or 500 meters down, you start to notice some light coming from the bottom of the ocean, just very faintly, slight blue glow that seems to be making its way through the really heavy water, and you start to hear animal life. So something vaguely along the sound of whales is coming, though you don't see anything quite yet. Given that you're hearing things and that you're seeing this glow, do you continue down? Do you stop to assess?
Susie has her face plastered to the window and is taking all the fucking pictures.
Of course.
So did you say we had found like a plateau, or is it still going down?
You're still descending, but you're starting to see sort of a light blue glow from underneath of you.
Okay.
And you're hearing some animal life. So basically just giving you a chance, like you can stop and assess, do something different, or you can keep going down.
I mean, if the sub has sensors of any kind, I think Tamsin would like to do a quick sweep just to see if there's, see if the ground isn't in fact ground.
I gotcha. Yeah, I imagine this would have active and passive sonar.
Okay.
So you can see that you're not really near the ground yet. You can do a ping if you'd like to light everything up, so to speak.
Yeah, I think once she's told everyone she's gonna do that, just so everyone's aware in case some shit goes down, like it's on Tamsin. Yeah, I think she would do that if everyone's cool.
Okay, and just to double check, like everyone understands, this will make a really loud ping sound that will travel through the water and then return signals.
TC's real, but has not been down here before, so it is not really a one-person decision to make. So he's just gonna show hesitance, but not object.
Okay.
A lot of whales and dolphins and those things use sonar to navigate, or am I thinking of something? Would this
No, you're right.
either fuck that up or attract them towards us?
Wait,
Possibly.
wait. Tamsin, can you reprogram the sonar so it only picks up passively, so we can detect if there's anything else using sonar out there?
So reverse it, essentially. You want me to reverse the polarities?
Well,
That's
no,
essentially
just,
what you're.
just listen. As
It's essentially what
opposed
you're
to
doing right now.
transmit.
Yeah.
But
It's already got a passive mode.
Yes, but if we use it bouncing off of us, we can determine how far away the things they're transmitting it are.
If we knew where they were, I don't know that it quite calculates the distance of a sonar call, because we don't know how big the animal is it's making it, and she just starts rattling off.
If it's getting closer or if it's getting further away.
It's literally the way passive sonar works in submarine movies.
Mhm.
So the whale sounding things are making noise. So you probably do see something as a little blip on a sonar screen at the very edge of your sensors.
So we'd have a rough estimation.
Yeah, you can tell where the sound's coming from, but you can't really see a shape or anything like that, or really see the ocean floor just yet without making noise yourself.
So Tamsin would ask again, like, would everyone be okay with this? Or do we want to maybe have someone go out in a Tums?
Susie looks to Owen.
Owen's already got his finger on his thumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dewey looks to TC, hopefully.
Before anyone
I'm
goes out there, like
Mhm.
my only concern, or not my only concern, there's so many concerns. Why are we in the water again?
Tamsin's nodding like,
Shit this deep, does that normally, I know we don't know this planet specifically, but is there normally shit this deep that just makes light like that? Besides whatever that fucking fish is that just makes the light to get people to come to it to eat
No,
them?
but this doesn't look like the same sort of light. This looks more like a bioluminescence situation going on, so it's possibly animal. Given by the fact that it's not shifting around a lot, it's probably some sort of plant.
can
or
I
something
roll
like
something
a
for
floral
that?
structure, or
Sure. To know if it's bioluminescent or fauna or flora.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be education.
can I
Cool.
also roll my education to see if Susie can actually like tell?
You sure can.
Can I add my astrobiology to that?
Half of it.
Okay, that's fine.
I was gonna say no. It was like half of that knowledge might be useful.
Mhm.
Actually, can I use my naturalist?
One sec here.
Sure, because Susie specifically is marine biology trained.
Since I have
29.
learned the asset now, is what I took, so I can re-roll any education rolls.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna do that. That is a 34.
I forgot I already
Much
had that.
better.
Let me re-roll.
You do have to take the new roll though.
I think I'll take the 29 and have Tamsin and Susie actually like
Actually
get
working
along.
together.
work together and actually get along for once as they're like going through the list of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see. Did I have something already written out for this?
You can always pull out Star
I
Trek and just make
do.
some shit up.
Oh, I know. Well, I mean, it's more of a question: have I already made it up, or am I winging this? Okay, yeah, I did already make something up for this. Okay, so, yeah, you both are able to figure out this is probably flora. So it's plant based, and definitely looks like it's bioluminescent. And you're probably just at the very edge of the range of where it's being sort of diffused by the water, which is why it looks like a general, like, large light blue glow instead of a specific light source. And yeah, the fact that it's not moving around leads you to believe that it's probably plant-based, and based on the amount of light, it's probably something big, or a lot of small things.
I do just want to point out, I know this is really interesting and has a lot of good potential value. But when we left today, checking out glowing bushes underwater was it's not really part of the agenda.
Tamsin will point out that if it's bioluminescent, it may have some chemical property that is of use to their endeavors. And she kind of gives TC a wink of like,
I don't know if TC catches it. Can I make an empathy roll?
Absolutely.
Can I also make an empathy roll to see how I interpret the wink between Tamsin
Oh,
and
no.
TC?
Oh God.
Sure.
Or would that be gut feeling?
under the sea.
Wait,
I
what
feel
the
the
fuck are
pressure.
you two getting up to?
So gut feeling would be if you're wanting to figure out if they're talking about you. Empathy would be if you're just trying to understand what they're saying.
Oh, damn.
You wanted to roll low, of course you did.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
That was empathy.
Empathy. So yeah, I
Probably-
don't think TC quite catches it, but Owen does. What exactly was the wink and the nod about?
The wink and the nod
Mechanism?
was basically if they're bioluminescent, then they may have some like special chemical property that would be beneficial for TC's explosives or otherwise.
Oh, I see. For the
Yeah.
explosive.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, oh, and you get it. TC, you're like, dude, why would I need a glow stick?
Yeah. I mean, it's a group decision, but I do know that we tend to get distracted sometimes.
Tim's just kind of starts muttering about like it's phosphorescence, phosphorescence, and she's just like muttering off into the dark.
Looking after well, yeah, I know it's phosphorus. That's what makes bioluminescence.
You know, the funny thing is, I did have for the new perk at this, or the new asset at this level, I did have alert. And then I was like, no. I want to take the tech engineer training. So I've already got mech engineer. Let's go ahead and do tech too.
That's totally fair. We need a second person doing that. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, Tamsin won't make any more fuss about it.
Okay. Well then, are you continuing down? Okay. Need another mechanical engineering roll. And you did not do the active sonar, right?
Yeah, correct.
33, awesome. So yeah, you're able to pilot the sub down further, and as you get deeper down, you're able to see this is actually sort of like a giant chasm with big, not quite coral reef, but it has that same sort of topographical feature to it. So it's a lot of like porous looking rock, almost like pumice. That makes this sort of jagged, essentially underwater cliffside. And growing alongside that are giant, what did I name? Glow bulb plants. You could probably scan them if you wanted to get out there and swim around or whatnot. But you can...
Susie's like... Susie turns and looks to Tamsin and TC. And you could see like the energy that is barely contained within her frame.
that sort of, please, can I go scan them?
She's holding her scanner.
I think Tamsin would briefly look at Susie, look her up and down, and then would just be like, just if you're going, I'll go with you, and we're both going in a Tums.
Okay, she's already gone.
So Tamsin will ask Cece to bring the thing down close enough that they can just quickly like go out, quickly scan, and she says like 5 minutes tops. Trust me, she will be like this the whole trip. It just
5
and
minutes.
she just kind of walks off like just this kid.
As
Hey,
you hop into the
Tamsin.
Tums. Go ahead, sorry.
Tamsin.
Yeah.
I'm leaving after 30, okay?
Trust me, I will get back in the ship after 5. If she wants to stay out here, that's her business.
All right.
And she's got a look on her face that says otherwise, but she's very much of like, I'm not fucking around with this kid when we're in the middle of the fucking ocean. This is ridiculous.
Pat brings up a good
least
point. She does have a ride home.
At least Susie is learning to
At least,
ask.
yes,
first.
at least she's asking. So yeah, Tamsin would
Alright.
get suited up as well with Susie, and would go out with another scanner so that they can more quickly
Okay.
gather
Susie
everything.
also has her knife in hand and is taking samples.
A question.
Mhm.
If you're in the Tums, then
Mhm.
you won't really... Using your knife won't really work. You'd have to get out of the Tums to do that. Also, to use the scanner, you just need a mechanical engineering roll to take this handheld scanner and basically attach it to the Tums hands where it will actually work.
Okay.
You see Susie trying to like strap it with tape. And yeah, somebody please stop her.
27 from mine. Do you want me to use that for
Yeah.
both, Raven, or?
one more for Susie's, but the 27 works for yours. Yeah.
Okay.
I could roll, but I'm worried I'm gonna break it.
Yeah, I am
28.
too.
Yeah.
Y'all,
both of
I hate
them-
to do this. Did we take into account that disadvantage on the next player roll?
We already
Yes,
did.
it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Okay,
it was
cool.
our
The
captains.
speech.
That-
Yeah.
Cool.
That was
okay.
ended up being to convince the philosopher to go to the beach.
Just get out of the house for a bit.
Maybe you're right. No, I must redeem myself. Can look at the beach later.
You could redeem yourself with a sandcastle. That's all I'm saying.
So yeah, you managed to rig this up. Also important to note, the tubs have a grappling arm and a hand, so
Mhm.
you don't have any hand stuff while you're out there, unless you
That's
get out
totally
of the tubs.
fine. It's totally fine.
So this is what happens. TC is able to move the sub close to one of those, and as you're looking down in the tum suit, you can see this is a pretty steep cliff. So you're probably going to need to rely on the grappling arm quite
That's
a bit
what I was thinking. Yeah.
to keep your footing.
Just hanging off of the bottom of the sub is what Thameson's doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then. Because there will be a couple of rolls associated with this, who
Mhm.
wants to go first?
Good luck being first.
Damn, I didn't expect to. Don't worry.
Okay.
What do
So
I roll?
Susie, as you
Swimming?
disengage, as you
Yeah.
disengage the tums from the sub, it starts to sink rather rapidly because it is heavy. So I need a mechanical engineering roll to use the grappling arm effectively to
23.
latch onto the sub.
Nice.
Okay.
23.
You're able to latch onto the sub. For Owen and TC inside the sub, and to a lesser extent Tamsin outside, there is a resonating boom noise that sounds really disconcerting if you don't know what it is.
And Tamsin will radio Susie, like, "Are you on? You okay?"
Oh yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
Meet you down there.
And she's leaving an open comm so that Owen and TC can hear them as well,
Okay.
just in case we start screaming.
So Susie, you're able to lower down via the grappling arm and get pretty decently close to one of these bulbs. How quickly is Tamsin following?
As soon as Susie says she's okay, Tamsin would follow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then yeah, there's a loud, chunk noise as your tums also starts to descend pretty rapidly.
Mhm.
And yeah, same thing. You're able to latch onto the sub. There's a loud dong noise as it impacts the metal outside of the sub, and you're able to lower yourself down pretty
Nice.
effectively.
How many feet above this thing are we right now?
TC's been doing pretty well with the sub piloting and whatnot, so I'd say probably maybe 2 or 3 meters above.
Alex.
So
Alex.
Susie is asking. Susie is like, "Hey TC, can you drop the sub like 2 meters?"
You could also like you still have line on your grappling hook. You could
Oh,
go
we
down.
still have line.
Oh,
Never
okay.
mind.
I just
Yeah,
knew we
I
were
thought
on
that
the
we were
line.
at the end of the line.
Yeah.
Never mind. She's gonna
No,
go
no,
down
sorry.
and like she's going to land the tums and see how strong this thing is to hold the tums.
Okay. Yeah, I thought you were asking how far the sub was from the thing.
Oh no.
Okay.
Uh,
So as you land on it, the feet sort of start sinking into it, and it's almost like wet foam, like the craft foam. If you
Mhm.
get it really wet, and it's sort of like it holds its shape until you push into it, and then it just sort of squishes.
so
There's a faint suction noise as the feet sink into it.
yeah, she's definitely stopped descending.
Okay.
Like
Is she ascending? Is she pulling out of it?
not yet. She's scanning it first.
Okay.
Scan detected. Acidic compounds.
Can I get a
Okay.
tech? Can I get a tech engineering roll
Oh
to
my
scan it?
God. Yeah, Tamsin will be scanning it as well, but
Okay.
from above it
23.
as opposed to on it.
Yeah, you're both pretty much within range.
Susie's going to
okay.
also after that pull back out and see if she can manage to keep some on the feet.
Okay, we'll get to that in a sec. First, I'll tell you what the scan says. So, global plant. It's a fast-spreading plant found in deeper areas. They range in size from a potted plant to a giant dome the size of a house. The plants range from red to purple in coloration and are highly bioluminescent. They're spherical in shape, with a large spongy flesh attached to a fibrous base. The flesh of the plant can be consumed at the same stats as distilled water, which I think is slightly different than what I have written down here now. Distilled water is 4 units of water with a sick chance of 1.
Can they be propagated?
Well, they are fast spreading, so it's
We
probably...
would need we'd need an octopus's garden, really.
Which is what do you think Susie's planning on doing around our cage for the sub? I mean, you got all that space.
You could just build it inside. You could just build an aquarium inside.
Why?
Because we don't have a glowing thing on the hull then.
But Susie, you mentioned wanting to ascend, right?
Yeah, she's trying to pull back out of it.
Okay, can I get a mechanical engineering roll to operate the winch?
21.
So you start reeling in the grapple arm, and then you all of a sudden start hearing this noise, and you're not really pulling out of it. TC up in the sub, the sub starts descending slightly.
Issue
That's
here.
a lot of torque.
I need I need a knife.
Tamsin's gonna descend slightly, and she's gonna hook, like not with the hand, but she's gonna hook one of the arms with the scanner underneath Susie's to help with it.
Okay, so you're just-
Kind of without touching the glow bush,
okay.
because it's clear that she's not getting up.
Could I get a sight roll from either of you?
Sure.
Nat 20, nice.
Oh, hey, look at that.
And I got
So-
a 24.
Okay. So Susie, I think you're a little distracted trying to get out. But Tamsin, you look down and you can see that this glow bulb has essentially started growing over the feet. It looks, since you got a nat 20, you could have learned
Mhm.
everything about this. So it is fast spreading in that it does propagate rather quickly.
Right.
Think like underwater kudzu.
Yeah.
But also it self-repairs quite quickly, so it's essentially trying to grow back this indention.
Right.
And it is holding the Tum's legs pretty firmly in there, so you're able to see
the
you're
feet.
probably going to need to
I
cut
did-
it out.
It's like, I need a knife.
Did you bring said knife with you?
It's in the suit. I'm getting out of the suit.
Susie,
Is this on the open?
this is
channel,
on the open
Tim?
channel. The whole thing is always on the open channel because we need to communicate. Susie, it's trying to spread up the suit. If it touches you or the knife, it might try to spread over you.
I will say for Tam, since you did get a nat 20, it probably won't grow up the whole suit. It's just trying to cover the spot. It's the hole in itself, essentially.
Yeah, she's not taking any chances though.
Okay.
She's basically telling Susie, like, if you're getting out,
Susie's like,
do it with as much fucking caution as you can.
Tamsin, did you bring the laser cutter?
You can tell Tamsin has, like, she's not saying anything, but she's mouthing like,
Since I know you can't see me screaming it at you from where you two are, Susie, before you start cutting up the Tums, do you want to remember the thing that I always make people remember that they have access to?
Oh, wait. Wait, actually, yes. Susie looks at.
Are you okay?
Yeah, just had a plate shift behind me. Susie actively looks at the top of that cliffside and memorizes it.
Okay.
And takes the suit back home.
Okay. Can I get an education roll to memorize the cliffside?
Are you
Can I
telling?
use my naturalist?
Nope.
Are you
This is
telling
memory.
Tamsin
Well,
you're doing
thank
this?
goodness I have education, and I can reroll that. Well,
Are you telling anyone what you're doing?
Nope.
Okay. You try to memorize it. You get a vague sense of the shape of it. And so yeah, when you hit the return button, I'm gonna need a discipline roll.
Well,
'Cause
no,
this-
I imagine I just go back to the teleport base.
I know. There's another reason.
This is why.
I told you, Susie's the only one allowed to die tonight.
Why is that okay?
What was it again?
Discipline.
Discipline.
If this is what I think it is.
26.
26. Okay. Evens or odds?
Odds.
I think this is what I
Odds.
think it
Okay.
is.
If it's odds, it's not bad. That's a 12. That's bad.
How much does Susie die?
It's not Susie I'm worried
It's
about.
not Susie. So you're trying to return with the Tom suit, which is currently grappling a sub.
Mm-hmm. This is why I was asking if you were telling anyone. Oh, we didn't even make it like a day.
I think.
Wait. I have advantage. Can I use that back on that education roll?
You might want to use that on the discipline roll, but yes.
Can I use it on the discipline roll? And then I might have
Yes.
to roll a d6 to do that.
Please.
Yes. I was trying to think of
28.
how it's
Okay, I'm gonna roll a
work.
d6.
Okay.
6. Okay.
Okay.
I'm at
34.
30. I'm at 30 something.
4.
Okay, cool. It's like I really don't want to kill all of you in one
Yeah.
go.
I was sitting here, I'm like, please tell one of us.
I mean, that is a season finale right there.
Yeah, it would be.
Oh
You
my
spent
god!
the whole day
Pulling out-
underwater and
Oh my
then
god!
died.
Econolex would come back and be like, "What the actual fuck did y'all do?"
I was
No
like,
one
there's
can
still an
die but
hour and a
me.
half left of this
Oh my
episode.
No one can die but me.
Yeah.
Explode
No
the
one
sun.
can die but me. Yes,
Okay.
everyone right.
Everyone died but me.
Everybody on the land.
So, with that discipline roll, you have the foresight to let go of the sub.
Thank you.
Because like, would the sub just end up in the teleporter room and just crush everything,
Right.
or would it end
Like,
up
would
in
it
the
just-
rock? I'm like having to figure out this scenario that I never thought would happen. Okay, so
Somehow
just
we were on the
you,
same page.
just you and the Tums, and part of the glow bulb, end up in the teleporter room. The stuff that's on you is essentially inert. It doesn't like try to grow into a new bulb or anything. But for Tamsin, you do see that the bulb that did house Susie a moment ago is
Yeah.
starting to grow back into a bulb again. So it has a
Okay.
spherical shape.
So Tamsin radios DC and Owen and says, I think Susie teleported back to the island. Susie, are you okay? You know, she's
Yep,
trying to keep calm, but she's...
Tamsin, can you do me a favor?
What?
I had a really hard time picturing it. I'm realizing that now because I think I may have done a stupid thing because I almost forgot to let go of the time. What would happen if if I teleported the submarine by accident?
You just get straight silence for like a minute.
I'm really sorry.
For just like a solid minute. And she's
I'm
just sitting there like,
sorry.
this kid is gonna kill us. This fucking kid is gonna kill us. Not even intentionally. she's just like stewing in her own tums. And eventually she'd say it would be really bad.
Can you please take a picture of the top of the cliff so I can teleport there?
Raven, do these tums have any kind of like way to take a picture?
No, but you can take a
Okay.
picture with your tablet inside.
Okay. Okay. So
also,
Tamsin
the
like
evens or odds was to decide if it would just not let you, like a safety
Oh.
feature or not. So for
Or
future
try.
reference, it
The
does not have
teleporter
that safety feature.
no.
that is good. I mean, who would think of that as a safety feature, really? Yeah, Tamsin will take a picture and send it to Susie.
Okay. You can roll
I
discipline
doubt-
now. to
With
try to
advantage?
come back.
With advantage because I have a
No.
picture.
Not with advantage, but it's going to be a little easier.
So while this whole thing has been
Yeah.
going on, I think
Oh,
Owen might
she
have.
does shake off the spores back at the thing and be like, "Hey, can you watch these?" And like points with the thumbs unit down at the spores to the philosopher.
Yeah, I
Because
think
you're
the
not
philosopher
going anywhere, you know.
will like walk over and start, scraping it off the side and go, "Oh, glow bulbs," and just launch into a really long-winded story about the
That's
first
great.
time
I have to
they
go
saw
back
glow
right
bulbs.
now, but I would love to hear all about them when I get back. But I have to go.
They don't stop talking.
Okay, bye.
That works. All right. Discipline roll to go back. Yeah, you're not quite where you were picturing. You're a little bit above it in the water, but that's fine. You just sink down onto the cliff.
By the way, what can I see from the top of the cliff?
About the same stuff. It's a big chasm. It's really hard to see very deep because it's just not a lot of illumination, and the bioluminescence is getting diffused by the water pretty quickly. But you can see this is a very, very long chasm further that you can see, and probably pretty darn deep. And it looks like it continues off towards the south a long ways. And there's tons of these glow bulbs all over the cliff.
There's a lot of pictures. You could already see like in the helmet of the Tums that Susie's just taking a whole bunch of pictures.
So
Perfect.
Tamsin
Just
on the
updates.
radio, Susie, like, take pictures on your way back. 5 minutes is up.
But it's only been 3.
You can't see it, but Tamsin is giving you the over the glasses. Are you gonna fight me over 2 minutes on this? You just about teleported the sub to the island.
Susie is attempting to scan the zooplankton and phytoplankton.
Okay. Yeah, it pretty much scans as just that. There's not a whole lot of information. It's similar to Earth phytoplankton.
While all this is going on, they're right, just almost as soon as they left and like the spidey senses started to go, TC just kind of goes, "Owen, I appreciate your discretion with this." And TC's just going to pull out a little pack of what looks like some kind of herb that resembles tobacco, just something that he's been, just a little something for him, because this is really stressful sometimes. And he's just going to like roll up a little cigarette and like have a couple of those pebbles in one hand and just not say anything, just like close his eyes and try to imagine things where things aren't so stressful right now, and blow the smoke through the stones in his hand and just kind
That's
of
smart.
yeah, just like we're gonna shit, just, and like I think take one earphone off and just try to find a moment's peace.
Okay.
And when it's over, like hide the butt away. Just look at him. I appreciate you being real fascinated by something over in the other direction.
Yeah, I think you're seeing that. So I'm struggling to remember how many of our friends / castmates Owen has seen die. I feel like it might have just been
I think it was just Boris.
I
I
think
think it was
Boris.
just Boris, because yeah, you weren't there with them with the Viper.
No. So
Yeah.
I think he's you notice he is looking away, but he's like torn between like just looking at his tablet and looking out the window because he can't decide whether if something were to happen, he'd rather know what happened or not see it.
I think if TC notices, and TC is kind of oblivious, but if TC notices, he'll roll you a cigarette up and hand it over, and not really looking at you, just go like, "Don't bother looking if you're not gonna act. You don't want the guilt."
Yeah, he'll take the cigarette and he'll just devote himself to his tablet then.
Okay.
I'll hand over a few pebbles, just like, we don't want this to smell like a high school boy's room.
In case, on the off chance something does happen and you grab my tablet, I've been working on this for the last month or so, in the spare time, and you see he'll show you what he's typing up on his tablet, and Owen's been trying to put together a recipe book for you fuckers. So if he dies, you all can eat.
Oh, that's so awesome.
I mean, I don't know if there's a way to like link these, or I haven't figured out a function on the tablets yet that's like send in case of death. I don't think they installed that.
No, not really. I mean, you could probably do something like schedule the delivery and then just keep changing the date.
I appreciate
Oh
that.
my god, I just had the most hilarious thought at the beginning of the recipe book. So I died by Owen. And then Owen forgets he has to reschedule it.
That would be funny.
So is Susie heading back to the sub is my question.
Yeah, she's like walking back to the sub along the cliffside sort of thing.
Okay, so yeah, Tamsin would let everyone know, like, Susie's back, she's coming back to the ship, we're getting in as soon as she's here.
It is.
You'll notice Susie's back because there is a ton of detailed shots of all of the shit that you can see from that cliffside.
So this is tricky terrain. So I do need a mechanical engineering roll to successfully navigate these glow bulbs and keep your footing on the cliff, and successfully grapple back over to the sub. It's a little slow going. You nearly step into another glow bulb, but you managed to miss it.
For the first time ever, you hear, "Shit, fuck!"
Meanwhile, Tamsin's hanging off of the sub.
Cigarette.
Yeah, Tamsin's hanging off of the sub like, I miss my bridge.
But yeah, you eventually managed to make it back, and it's been about like 5 minutes and 45 seconds total.
Yeah, so Tamsin's gesturing to the top. She's not saying anything, but she's just like, fucking.
I'm coming. Only 45 seconds over time.
Tamsin gives you a look that says it's not the time that she's mad about. She's giving you the look of like. But she'll start ascending when she sees Susie's like right there.
As soon as you get within range, like a little mechanical hand kind of reaches down and grabs the top of the tubs.
I was gonna ask, yeah.
pulls the two of you back up.
Okay.
You know, just this sort of kind of noise.
Also,
and,
is there any boxes or crates that could be filled with water on the tub? On the boat?
On the sub?
Yeah.
I mean, depends on what you brought with you.
I don't know that we brought building materials, if I'm honest.
Well, Susie brought a lot of grass, so yeah.
Are you going to make a grass aquarium?
Yes.
Wait, we brought grass with us to a power plant?
Well, technically, you brought grass with you to a power plant, so.
And Susie, but
Yeah.
hers isn't smokable.
I'm sure we had like containers for dried food and stuff. So
Yeah, I'm assuming you have some water bottles,
yeah.
but that's
Great.
about.
Susie's gonna basically propagate a bunch of empty water bottles with the various spores that are still on the suit. So she's got a good starting growth.
Okay.
Thanks. I hate
Would
it.
you like me to roll naturalist?
Nah, it's okay. We'll put a pin in that for now. TC, the rest of your crew's back on board. Would you like to continue on down into this chasm?
Well, I'm about 3 minutes away from turning this whole damn submarine around, and we're gonna have a vacation at home again this year. If folks don't follow for 45 seconds. 5 minutes and 45 seconds is not 5 fucking minutes.
I don't
It is
think
like
you'd have an
17% over.
I don't think you'd have an
the
argument from
time.
Tamsin. No.
Susie is just like, and she's like doing things with tubes and water pumps and little glowing spores, and yeah, she's not paying attention to you.
TC's not saying any of this. This is just where TC is emotionally.
I think Tamsin's saying it. Tamsin's definitely like, she's sitting down with TC and she's like, I swear to God, with this fucking kid, she is gonna either kill me with a heart attack or she's actually gonna get me killed. No more stops.
I'm
That
going
was
to
her one.
look at you dead in the eye and go, I would say even odds.
Just a single.
For
Yeah,
the benefit of
Tamsin's like,
anybody,
no more trips for him.
anybody watching this later, Pat and Chat just said TC is going into the McDonald's drive-thru and ordering 1 black coffee. That's why we were all laughing. Anyways,
yeah. Yeah. No. I'll head down.
okay. One more mechanical engineering roll.
One more mechanical engineering roll. 29.
All right. Yeah, you are able to pull away from the cliffside without really much of an issue and start heading down. It starts to get a little brighter as you descend a little bit more because of all these glow bulbs. And right about that moment is anybody that's in the cockpit that can look out the window, the main window. Not too far above where you are, you see the silhouette of a Kraken Viper sort of swim by, and you can see the whale sort of sounds that you were hearing are these giant sort of whales. They look like a cross between a giant whale and like a sea turtle. So they have this like sort of shell on their back that's got plant or some plant life, I guess you could call it, and coral and things like that growing on the back of it.
Susie
and it
is
is
once again taking pictures and leaving marks of, can we come back here? She's not asking to stop. She's asking, can we come back here?
1 sec, let me finish describing what's going on. So it's got this shell, sort of like coral and plant life on the back of it, and it looks like the Kraken Viper's trying to eat one of them and having a hard time with it, and 3 or 4 more are starting to swim way faster than it looks like they should be able to swim and are trying to ram it. So you've basically got an underwater kaiju battle sort of happening right overhead, and it looks like they're starting to get a little closer to where you all are. The fight is sort of coming to you, and that's where we're going to take a break. And then, yes, absolutely, you can send out the "Can we come back here" notes. I think I know what the answer is going to be. But we're going to take a break right here. Let everybody stretch their legs, grab some snacks and water and whatnot. And we'll be back in 15 minutes. So go stretch your legs, hydrate, all that good stuff, and then come back in 15 minutes and we'll find out what happens with this. Be right back. All right, we are back. Very interesting conversations happening over the break. But as I mentioned, this fight between these whale-like creatures and this kraken viper is starting to descend towards you. Doesn't seem like they've noticed you yet, but this is happening. So TC, what do you do?
How far above the ocean floor and all those nasty things are we?
You don't know.
So the ocean floor is not immediately in sight.
Correct. It's not showing up on your passive sonar or in sight. This
Great.
chasm seems pretty deep.
Okay.
Are
I'm
those
going
things
to.
above us or below us? Just out of curiosity.
Above you.
Cool. I'm gonna just say, sit down, buckle up, and I'm gonna cut the power.
Wait. Do we have?
Interesting. Okay.
Do we have some sort of like the whale calls and shit that we were hearing before? Was that just vibrating through the ship?
Yeah, pretty much.
Susie's head just snaps up all of a sudden. Imitate the whale calls now.
No.
Nope.
I was just gonna say record it. We don't want to imitate it.
Well,
right?
sorry, correction. Record it in case we get attacked again.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. To call these over as bodyguards.
Yeah, absolutely.
Susie
Anybody that
looks
wants to
at-
can hit record on.
Susie
Yeah.
looks to Owen and
Phones.
is like, wait, you had a good idea for once. That's weird.
Okay. So TC, you cut the power. So lights off, engine off, everything. Just sort of.
I mean, like I would leave like, basic life preservation stuff on, but I'm okay with us like slowly sinking down. Like that's no problem. I just needed to stop making noise right now.
Okay. So
The kids
that
are fighting in the
happens.
back seat.
Somebody hits record to record the whale sounds because those are ongoing as well. They seem very agitated at the moment, obviously. And is anything else happening in that moment? People are buckling in. Nobody's like hitting the active ping or anything like that. Okay.
No.
In that case, you do slowly descend. Unfortunately, the kraken viper and the whales catch up with you a little bit faster than you're sinking, and there's a loud bang that's heard as the kraken viper kind of just suplexes, I guess would be the best description I could think. Underwater suplexing this whale, sort of just flops down and just slams onto the top of the sub. Now, ordinarily that would be a recipe for disaster. However, Tamsin was clever enough to get armor plating for the sub. And so while it is one of the most unpleasant noises you ever heard in your life, it doesn't really crush the sub. You get like a solid dent in that in the top. But it's basically a fender bender instead of totaling your sub. And
Tamsin
it
is
sort of
breaking her arm, patting herself on the back for that one.
yeah. And it kind of launches you down very quickly out of the way of the rest of the fight as the sea life is battling each other. So now you are rapidly approaching the bottom of this chasm, and the passive sonar starts to pick up that, oh yeah, there's a floor there. So it's sort of rushing up to meet you, so to speak. Do you kick the power back on? And
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do a crash landing underwater. Oh goodness!
Okay,
no.
I figured.
No, I'm gonna. As soon as it feels like we're out of the immediate danger zone,
Okay.
I'll cut the power back on it and try to level things out.
Perfect. At this point, you're about 600 to 700 meters down.
Okay, yeah.
The glow bulbs have continued, and you can see that this chasm kind of continues down at a slope, and it becomes more of an underwater cave system, almost like a system of caverns. You can continue forward into them, or you can try your luck higher up and try to, go a different direction to go around this.
What do we think, team?
Is the sonar picking up anything moving out there? Like, are we getting any signals from something and then a signal from it that's in a different spot later? Or is it mostly quiet?
Mostly quiet, except the fighting that's happening above you. That's still getting picked up.
Okay.
But it's far away from you now. You're not really picking up any passive sensor stuff from inside the cave, or cavern, I guess it's more accurate.
Mm-hmm. Does this cavern look like it was just formed naturally, or does it look like it was dug out by something?
It looks pretty natural. It looks like it might have possibly been a lava tube at one time eons ago, or perhaps formed through some other sort of tectonic event.
Okay.
But it's clearly been established for centuries, if not millennia. So you're not at risk of like lava coming out of it anytime soon.
Were we given information that the power plant was further down than we are?
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's around 1,200 meters below the surface.
Okay. Yeah, I think Tamsin's vote would be going into the caverns. She's like, we know this thing's further down, and unless we want to go back up and find some other way, I think this might be our best shot.
All right. Tay Beer's back. We're going in.
And Tamsin will look at Owen like, what's,
Oh no, I was just I was trying to picture so lava came out of this thing?
Tamsin will nod. Yeah. She can kind of tell where Owen's going with it.
So like if we go through this, we are only also going to be traveling to places that lava went or lava came from, right?
My guess is it's some kind of geothermal plant. That's the only.
Can I use my naturalist to take a guess at how long ago the lava was here?
No, it'd be more of education.
Yeah, I'll do that.
But yeah, Tamsin will say like chances are we're going someplace with lava, regardless of whether the power plant uses it.
31.
Yeah, like thousands of years ago.
Yeah, there hasn't been lava here for a real fucking long time.
Yeah, I guess that was what I was wondering, is either like I know we want to go down.
And
I just
unless
assume
you
this has an
somehow
endpoint,
activate
right?
a volcano, which
It's not.
isn't ink, which fuck.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past this.
Susie just stops talking at this point. She's like, "Don't activate a volcano, Owen."
All I can say is
I
if.
will-
Go ahead.
I will say this too, since you got such a high roll, you probably know that this was maybe some sort of super volcano that went off at some point and emptied itself.
Correction.
So there's that.
Owen, really don't set off this volcano. This is what makes continents. Don't.
I get my question wasn't so much if the volcano was going to explode now, but we're kind of, I guess we're betting that the plant is down this specific volcano tube and not down a different one somewhere else on the planet.
It's possible, but it's a big planet.
It actually would make sense for this amount of power draw they'd need for them to sit in the middle of a super volcano.
Okay.
If presuming it's a super volcano, then most of these tubes should in some way lead to it. And hopefully if there's nothing, living in these caves or nothing super violent, we can use the sonar to maybe map them out.
With your apparent knowledge on volcanoes, would this volcano connect to the other island's volcano? Not that that's where we would go now. I'm just. Are all the volcanoes on this planet connected?
How far away are we? I don't know the continental subdrift of the lava flows here. I'm sorry, Owen. I only did a project on super volcanoes in grade 8.
Tamza would
my-
add in as well. Like, even if it does connect, it's probably not connected by a tube that's empty of lava.
Okay.
Like, it probably connects through the mantle, if anything. The distance between those volcanoes, that have to be a pretty substantial connection to maintain.
Oh yeah, this is just me asking questions now. That
Mhm.
wasn't saying. That we
And
should be
Tamsin's
going down.
actually happy to go off on it because this is
Yeah.
closer to her
All right,
area.
we didn't have to wait outside while I do that. You
Yeah.
can drive to
Cool.
And on the bright side, if it does activate, we'll probably die really quickly.
Mm-hmm. Not a long time to suffer.
It's
Unless
true.
we teleport out.
No, yeah, we could tell. Right, and like, that's an option. I keep forgetting that's an option.
I could see, like, the submarine starting to melt, and like right before the lava just pours in, Tam's going,
Yeah,
I could have teleported,
yeah, exactly.
and that's what she dies.
Yeah. Turn on my gravestone. I didn't do the science.
At
Oh,
some
wow.
point, I'm just gonna create an every 5-minute alarm on my tablet. That's just my voice saying, "Don't forget, you've got a teleport."
That's part of your if Owen dies package.
We honestly could use it.
So you've met with a crisis. Step 1, do you have your teleporter?
Every other page of the cookbook is just teleporter in all caps.
Oh my god. You want to take
Little
2
bird
fish,
a la teleporter.
dice up some rosemary. Remember, you have a teleporter. Then
Oh
turn
my
your oven onto
god.
this.
Okay, what if Wilfred's people is gonna find this cookbook and just be real confused?
Yep.
Did you know that you can fish and get birds by using your teleporter? Just pick them up and teleport. That's it.
And see, this is what I'm saying. Like, their reality seems just as sane as the reality that we're in right now. Because if they saw that, like, they'd be like, "What the fuck are these people doing?
Mhm.
What are they even?"
They're on
Weird.
crickets, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Also, we heal stupid fast.
Fucking
Dude,
got that chirp.
fast.
Alright.
Good.
That would be the street name for it, yeah. So you're heading into this cave. I need a mechanical engineering roll to navigate through this. The entrance is pretty wide, but I will say you can already tell it's going to start to get narrower and a little bit more dicey to maneuver around. 36, yeah, you're able to get into this thing no problem. And the glow bulbs are starting to get smaller and smaller, until finally there's not really any in this cavern, but there is this sort of like, it's almost like a moss that has a similar bioluminescent quality, sort of carpeting the top of this cavern. And so there is less illumination, but there still is some. So you're able to see wherever the spotlights aren't shining. You can see like sort of shadows of different rocks and coral that are jutting out here and there. There's some fish that are swimming around down here. Not super dissimilar to fish that you saw like up in the shallows and places like that. But they do have a different appearance because they've adapted to deep sea life, essentially. And yeah, it looks like a very twisty-turny kind of lava tube that's also had coral sort of growing through it. So like I said, it's a bit tricky to navigate through, but so far you're doing a fine enough job. And then after maybe 5-10 minutes of navigating through this, I need to get a hearing check from everyone. Oh no.
I think her tinnitus is acting up.
30.
Is that point where you suddenly lose a little bit of hearing?
Yeah, let me see how bad that nat one's gonna be. It's bad.
That's literally my best stat, and I still only rolled a 12.
So TC, you don't really hear it. Tamsin, You just get this feeling like something's out there, and you put your ear up against like the side of the sub right as this loud noise happens. And if you didn't have tinnitus before, you do now. I'll let you pick which ear it is, but you are temporarily deaf in that ear.
Right ear.
Okay. It's just ringing. You can still hear out of the other one just fine, though. And then Owen, you hear this weird sort of like kind of noise. That's just sort of does that over and over again. And it's got like a real like gurgle, liquidy quality to the sound.
This is definitely a cave that we're in, right? And not something's intestines. Tamsin. Tamsin.
In character.
Tamsin.
Tamsin's kind of like, probably not. The way the intestines would look would be more gooey, I think. Oh.
And then Susie,
The volcano has indigestion.
So
Susie,
what do
you
I
hear the
hear?
same. You hear the same thing, but followed by some quieter clicks.
Okay, I think something's moving out there. Can we turn the floodlights on?
Sure, yeah, I'll turn the floodlights on.
Okay. As you do, you suddenly, the spotlights hit something that's very clearly not accustomed to light. It essentially looks like a giant crab. As I say, Jay, you know what I'm basing this off of. It looks like a giant crab with sort of like a squid-like upper body. So not the tentacles part of the squid, but the
the
torso
fierce
and head, if you will.
squoctopus.
Yeah, and it's got about 6 really big, giant pupiled, wet-looking eyes. And it shrieks at you. So that sound that you heard before, but even louder. And then it emits this sort of electrical pulse out into the water. It's enough force that it actually knocks the sub back a bit. There's creaking sound and sort of a popping, and the sub loses power.
Why does it need that many eyes if it lives in the dark?
Because it lives in the dark.
That I can't do the sound again, dang it. That sound, yeah, kind of like that. It continues and starts to get closer very, very slowly. Yeah, I hate them too. What do you do?
Well,
Go turn the power back on.
Did we?
I mean, I'll try.
Susie's gonna go down to see to make sure nothing's on fire.
Yeah, nothing's on fire. It looks like just the power has been disrupted essentially.
Just like
It's
a
not enough
fuse or like a breaker's been flipped almost.
Essentially, yeah. If you were to kind of reset everything, do like a full reboot of the sub, potentially it could come back on. Also, just to help out a little bit here, the Tums were technically off, so they should be fine.
I was thinking that. And this, I don't know if this would be a role, but would it make sense to keep the sub off until this thing leaves? Because it might just do this again. This isn't meta knowledge. This is literally just like, maybe this is how it hunts. Maybe this is like, maybe you can do this, as much as it wants if it senses other.
Can Susie roll a naturalist roll to give her, because she's been on this planet and she's seen the way that the wildlife and the underwater life, can she take a wild guess at a few of its stuff?
Yeah. So I'll give you a couple options to get information here. So naturalist would be a little bit of a higher DC, but you could kind of make an educated guess, kind of based on other wildlife that you've seen here. Education would be a slightly lower DC based on just general marine life in the galaxy, essentially. Or you could go with gut feeling to get a vague sense of what's the right
Who
thing
has
to do
the
here.
highest gut feeling roll? Who has the highest natural roll? And who has the highest education roll?
17 for education, and I can re-roll it.
Please do so. I will do naturalist. Somebody else do gut feeling.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna re-roll that.
Okay.
35.
Oh wow, okay,
Naturalist,
cool.
24
Thanks,
for
roll
education.
20.
I got it.
I
I
don't know
got
what
an
you
8 for gut feeling. What do you got, Owen?
I got a 5.
All right. Let's do it live. Okay.
Why was
22.
my gut
Okay.
feeling better than either of yours?
All right, so we'll start with Alex. For Susie with a 35 naturalist, based on other wildlife that you've seen here, I'd say that your assumption is that it will probably continue to be aggressive until it doesn't see you as a threat anymore. So leaving the sub off might make it perceive you as less of a threat, but it's kind of impossible to say if it will continue to beat the crap out of the sub until it's destroyed, or if it will just kind of poke at it and see if it moves, and when it doesn't, go away. But it definitely reacted defensively, so odds are it's more scared of you than you are of it.
Okay.
For education, you know that marine life that has this sort of thing, it's probably a defense mechanism.
Almost
to
like an eel.
Yeah, pretty much, to disorient
Okay.
whatever's trying to eat it. And that it probably is more predatory with just swimming up and latching on to whatever it's wanting to eat.
Okay,
It's also smaller than the sub, so it probably doesn't see you as a source of food.
fair. I hope not.
With a gut feeling, 22, if the power's off, stays off, you seem less threatening. But you're not quite sure if you want to take the beating or not. You probably get the feeling that this isn't going to destroy your sub, but it could cause some damage that you'll have to repair later if you want to sit it out.
And
Susie's gonna make the suggestion that we get the power back on, keep the interior and exterior lights off, and move very slowly past it. Not aggressively, just we're big. It's small.
And it didn't attack us until we turned the lights on.
It was entirely defensive. Honestly, I probably should have done that. I probably should have suggested instead of dropping the floodlights, we bring them up low.
You wouldn't have
low.
known.
We scared it. It's scared. We're scary.
That noise, while you're deliberating, this noise gets closer and you start hearing banging, almost like it's hammering on the outside of the sub.
Tamsin kind of points up at the where the noise is coming from. She's like, "That's scary."
And Susie's like,
Us,
"So we
not quite
should-
as much."
We should move."
okay, what is the topography of this
Oh,
area?
no.
Were the globe, yeah, were those still around? Or have those
Oh,
gotten less prevalent now?
There's a couple still around. Sorry, I just rolled to see how effective it's being with its attack, and I got a nat 20.
Great.
So yeah, it swings down on the glass part.
Why did we put windows? We shouldn't have put windows. Never put windows in anything. That's the worst.
Windows are a structure.
They are an inherent weak point in any.
Why do things have eyes? They're just so vulnerable.
Look, we can put a camera on the outside. That's fine. We just shouldn't have a fucking window. Here, let me just advertise a vulnerable spot.
Well, you know,
So-
TC, you could have brought this up before we got underwater.
While you're having this argument, you hear it swing down and it hits the windshield, and you just hear this crack.
Susie's,
It
we-
doesn't
we
break.
need-
Hold on. It doesn't break, but there is a dent in the glass, and it does start to have that little crinkling sound as spider webs start going through it. But then it
guys,
stops.
Guys, we need to move
Tamsin,
now.
Tamsin, get it back online and get us out of here.
No, hold on. Raven,
Uh-huh.
does the brief glimpse that we got of this thing is, it's aquatic, right? It doesn't look amphibious. It has to be in the water.
Yeah,
my God.
It looks like it probably stays in the water, yeah.
I think Jay
Oh
already
my
figured out what I was
God.
Oh my god, I love it. Do it. Do it. But
Oh my god.
Owen, I think, is going for one of the Tums suits.
Are you telling anyone you're
Don't
doing
move the
this?
sub. Don't move the sub. Keep it here.
And she's yelling after him, like, what do you mean? Where are you going?
I'm gonna make this crab, squid, Medusa,
don't
octopus
do that.
eyes.
Don't do that. If it uses its pulse on the other side, it will take out the teleporter room.
No,
But like it'll come back.
water's denser than air. It shouldn't have the same impact. Sound won't travel the same.
It wasn't a sound. That was electrical.
I mean, the whole
That
island
was
is a
an
generator.
EMP
I thought
pulse.
it's the teleporter uses very little power. We could probably reboot it. He's
Yes, but
saying all
not
of
if
this.
we're out
He's saying all
here.
of this as he's like
Not while we're out
strapping.
here.
Luna is
Why
back
is
at
he
the
getting
island
to go on his own?
because he is going to help save us, and also he's not 15 jumping into pools of plants.
Just
Meanwhile,
keep
you're
the
still
sub here.
hearing-
Keep the sub here so I know where to teleport back to. Don't move it.
Okay, Tamsin's gonna do her best to reboot the sub
gonna
in
try
like
to
low
repair the
power
window.
mode. But she's also
Okay.
gonna ready the decoy tube, and she's gonna say, "Owen, you've got 2 minutes before I fire this."
Also, what's the
Susie.
decoy tube? Because I don't know what it
It
is.
literally
it's-
just fires a decoy off. It's like
It's
a
like a
noise.
noisemaker that gets
Yeah.
attention.
Why didn't we start with that? So
We all
it's-
forgot we had it.
As I'm
no,
climbing out of the sub.
Susie
Sorry, Alex,
is
go ahead.
running to find the repair tool,
Yes, thank you. I was just about
Okay,
to do that.
Perfect.
while Tamsin is trying to get this thing back online.
Okay. So Tamsin, mechanical engineering to get the thing
Cool.
rebooted. Susie's sight to find where you put the repair tool in, your current state of panic. And then Owen, what are you doing?
I mean, if it was not clear, my goal is to get into a Tums, grapple this creature, and teleport us both back to the island.
Mechanical engineering roll. Yeah, you're able to get to the Tums. You hop in, detach it.
You don't
You
even
gotta
have to
try
touch. You could just grapple it. You don't even
But
have
then
to
it's
get
still
close.
here. Then it's still here. Oh, I don't have to get close to it.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what
You
you
just
mean.
be like,
Grapple it. Yeah.
Should I put a D6 on that?
Yes.
Do we need a 25?
yeah, yes,
I like
sir,
that
2 minutes and
Raven.
45 seconds.
29. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. You're able to grapple onto one of its claws, and so it's flailing around. It's kind of waving
I
you
would've
around
aimed
in the
for its-
water a bit.
I don't know if a 29 is good enough to aim, but I would have aimed for one of those fucking eye stalks if it's got so many.
No, not quite good enough to hit
Okay.
the eye. Let me just check. Where are we at on retweets? Oh, we've got okay. You've got
Oh, I haven't
7.
done that.
Cool. So yeah, you get a D6 back. We're at 7 retweets on the game tweet. So we'll put that D6 back. So now you're still at 4. All right, and then discipline roll
All right.
to make sure that you can take this with you the way you're wanting.
Do we think
32.
this will require another D6? people?
Ooh.
No, you're good.
Okay.
You're able to teleport back. Question: do you want this thing in the teleporter room with you, or lodged in the rock above the teleporter room?
Could half of it be lodged above the teleporter? Could
If
it be
you'd like.
sticking out of the rock?
If you'd like, given some leeway here because we didn't establish exactly how far away it is, so I'll let you decide how far away it was.
Yeah, I'd like a part of it to be hanging through the wall as a trophy, I guess.
Okay.
I was gonna say, just put its entire head up in the thing with all the 6 legs hanging down from the ceiling like a chandelier.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you teleport. Take this thing with you. And there's this really sickening sort of squish noise as the top half of it rematerializes inside solid rock. And now there's a bunch of crab legs and claws flailing about frantically, literally mindlessly.
Why is it still alive?
It's not. It's just nerves firing.
80% of an octopus's neurons are in its arms.
What? Is this
It'll
just
stop eventually.
Was there a test on marine animals that I was supposed to take before I got cast in this show?
No.
No.
I
We're
think
just all
pretty
a bunch
much
of
everybody
nerds.
had a marine biology phase in middle school, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's just a universal thing.
Kind of. Mine came later, but yeah.
Mine started in preschool and almost made it to college.
I really liked mantis shrimps. Mantis shrimps and eels.
Yeah, so that happened.
What is the philosopher's reaction?
It's not Jay. I was about to say that.
Because as soon as you said it, my first thought was literally, how is the philosopher going to react?
I just imagine
Philosophers... Go ahead, sorry.
it seems like it would be the incarnation of thanks, I hate it.
Yeah, if he had facial expressions, I imagine that would probably be the expression on his face, but he just kind of goes, so, things are going well?
Yeah, we're on a real important mission, but I really thought that what we needed to stop our time and do was to spice up your sorrow cave here. So you're welcome.
Ah, I see. I appreciate that. Well, if you have important things, I'm sure you should be going.
Unless you've got a limited to 30-second explanation of a better way to kill those things, I would stay for that.
My people believe in living in harmony with the nature around us. I'm sorry.
I just hit
can't tell you how
I
to
hit my button like 3 words.
Yep. Discipline roll to get back to the sub.
The fact the philosopher was like, I'm terribly sorry. My people's culture is so different.
I just, going into this discipline role, how fantastic would it be if that was the last interaction anyone had with Owen?
That would be kind of funny. 21. Where were you trying to go? Just don't read too much into that trying part.
Well, I told the sub not to move, and I got out of the sub.
Okay.
So I should be familiar with the area outside of the sub,
Yeah.
and that would have been my goal.
Okay, then yes.
I could use a D6, but I don't know that a 25 will do a whole lot.
No. You're good. I was just making sure if you were trying to like get into the Tums Bay, like the dock part, that wouldn't have been high enough. But if
No,
you're just trying to be just outside, you're fine.
No, I would have been. I'm not that dumb in the current moment.
I think we established jumping into the ship is a bad idea.
Yes, it is. Yeah, you show up roughly right around the same spot that you teleported out with this creature.
Do I find the sub covered in like 4 more of them while I was gone?
Tempting, but no, not yet.
Get a family.
It's just 4 smaller ones that come out looking for their mom.
Little tentacle Brenda and Pincher Harold.
Is this actually happening? Because Susie
No.
feel like because
No, it's
otherwise
not.
Susie would actually be like, oh no.
Don't feel sorry for the giant. Like
They're babies.
And it's not nowhere. It didn't happen. It didn't
Everything's got a
happen.
They're
baby.
babies. We killed
You're a
their
baby.
parent. Yeah, my parents did too.
Oh, God.
There's not baby crab squid things.
I'm sorry I had to do that because Pat has reduced me to tears. I must reduce Pat to tears.
Oh my god.
Use the laughter, perhaps.
So, yeah, you're able to get further through this cavern if you would like.
I was gonna say, does Owen get back on the ship right away?
Okay.
Owen just like walks in, parks the Tums back where it's supposed to go to rest, and like sits back down in his seat.
Susie looks over him. Did you think to scan it?
I mean, I left it someplace where you can get it later.
Okay, cool.
Tamsin's torn between like really laughing and being horrified at the situation. So
I
she's
feel
just
like
got
that's
this
the correct response to
she's
everything.
got this like look of like
Excuse me.
did it hit anything else when you took it back?
Not the parts I could see.
All right, so
Did you
we're
put
going
it in the
forward.
ceiling? Susie's
Not the
actually
parts
looking
I
in
could,
things.
not the parts I could see. They were still hanging.
It's like a chandelier.
So worst comes to worst.
Like we
That's-
got crab legs when we get home.
Oh, I bet they're edible. They probably are like crabs. They're just going to be scavengers down
See,
here in the
let's
tunnels.
get going before something else finds us.
Oh man.
Yep.
Oh, and how
And
much
let's
meat
keep the
do you think
lights
that
off.
is?
Another mechanical engineering for TC to roll. Also from Susie to fix the windshield.
Oh, brutal.
And when I say don't roll a 1,
I got a 25.
yeah, you're good. There's probably some.
The sub is a. Oh, you had one job. You had one job.
What the actual fuck?
Oh
There was like a bag of 19 nickels and one nickel shaped.
You said
black
it, and then I was like,
hole, and
okay,
you
great.
grabbed
You
the
said it.
nickel
It
shaped
probably won't
black hole.
happen.
Like, I
I
won't-
was scrolled up, and I rolled it, and I went to look down because there was like weird silence. I'm like, oh, I must have rolled really bad, pretty bad. Fucking 1.
I won't blame you for this because it's all random bullshit, but that might be the most on point I've ever seen a 1 call out.
right. I was like, if I say it, it's not actually going to happen. It'll
Can
be
somebody
fine.
clip that, please?
Please.
Fuck.
All right, where?
I wanted
Precisely.
to deliberately let her die. I didn't want to accidentally let her die.
You said it.
Along
You
with
said
all
it.
of
It's
us.
got to happen now.
Just hold on. The things are about to happen. Where exactly is everyone on the submarine right at this moment?
We're all on the bridge.
I'm in front of the window, I guess, driving
Yeah,
the damn
same.
thing.
I think we're literally all sat there in the bridge.
Owen's not. Owen is still back.
No, Owen's coming inside.
No, Owen said he came back and sat down.
I wasn't sure if this was done in my absence, but I assume I'm
Oh
watching.
God!
It's
come back
the,
and
it's
it's
the
just a flooded
bulkhead
sub.
door behind you, Owen. Open or not?
I don't know.
It's probably open.
Does it
Probably
close on
open
its
because
own?
none of us know sub protocols.
Yeah, but I was going to say there is a bulkhead behind you that can be shut.
Mhm.
And also, you all, I presume, actually, I'm just going to insist that
Yeah,
you all still
no,
have
it's-
your air tanks on.
Oh yeah,
No,
Susie
we wouldn't
always
take
is
those
wearing,
off.
Susie
No.
always wears her gear. It's how she
No.
works out.
Okay, so I need nimbleness rolls from everybody to see if you get an action before what's about to happen happens.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get your air tank or your mouthpiece in? Do you get through the bulkhead and close it in time? What happens?
Wow!
31.
Literally every time we try to go to this fucking
Every
power
single time. It's no wonder none of us want to go in the fucking water.
I know, right?
34.
Okay. So 31,
Oh,
34,
TC.
18.
Do you want to add a D6 on that, friendo?
Nope.
Nope. All right.
Tamsin, what was yours?
29.
Oh, okay, that's okay. So Tamsin, you have enough time to A, get your mouthpiece in, or B, close the bulkhead. You muted, sorry.
We're in the bridge, though. Why would I want to close the bulkhead?
Oh,
To
To
save the
prevent-
rest of
I
the
get
sub.
it now.
To save the rest of the sub from flooding the engines.
I had the same thought initially.
Because as it stands right now, the bridge is the only part that would be flooded if you get that bulkhead closed.
Yeah, Tamsin's gonna close a bulkhead, but she's not gonna be happy about it.
Okay.
This is like her
and-
biggest fucking fear.
Yeah, and keeping in mind this is all happening simultaneously, so in character you won't know what everybody else is thinking. So, Owen, what's your first reaction? You've got time to probably get the mouthpiece in and close the door.
Yeah, we've not worked on any emergency evacuation protocols, right? That's not how our group rolls.
Her emergency
No.
evac is use the teleporter and then we forget to use it.
Yep.
Oh crap.
That's
And
true. I
we don't
suppose you
wanna
could
u-
grab your teleporter and go back instead of getting
We
your mouthpiece
don't
in.
want to use it right now, though,
No.
because the sub is still in motion. It's
Oh.
still gonna
Mm.
drive, even if the bridge is flooded.
What Owen would do is, having lived with each other for a while now, who's got the, not what we just rolled, but who's got the shittiest nimbleness out of us?
TC. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would have thought Tamsin. But
No, I got
A
14.
6.
I think we know each other.
Tamsin's learned what
Yeah.
she needs to be in
Oh
this world.
yeah.
I don't think I put it. I think I assume I'll have time to put in my mask afterwards, and I grab the slowest person, so TC, and try to go towards the bulkhead with them.
Okay. Are you trying to like get them on the other side of the bulkhead?
That's what I was saying when I didn't know if we had a protocol. I'd like to be on the other side of the bulkhead with the person I'm grabbing.
Okay. Let me get a might roll to see how
Oh no.
buff you are to do this.
I know my nimbleness is absolutely hot garbage, but I do have the trained feat, or the trained asset. Does that
Okay.
that gives me some swiftness? Does that do anything in this situation?
Normally it's not exactly how it would work, but this is kind of a quote unquote combat encounter.
We are combating time.
So
Aren't we always?
so that adds +3 to your swiftness, right?
No, it gives me
Confusing that with something
it
else.
gives me extra stamina points.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
that's what it is. Yeah. Sorry. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I got confused.
So yeah, roll
Yeah.
a d20, see if you get a bonus action.
Okay. Cool.
Because that also would kind of apply. Oh,
Oh, cock.
Sorry.
Fucking cock.
Okay, at
roll
least it's
20
not
once
just
you're all
me.
dead.
Fuck.
That's only a
20.
minus 20.
So you can get TC to the other side of the bulkhead and close it, or you can get on the other side of the bulkhead and close it, but you can't do both.
Can I get us both on the other side and not close?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. Susie, what are you doing with your precious few moments here to react?
She's jamming her rebreather in.
Okay.
And basically grabbing onto the edge to brace for impact that's about to happen.
Smart. Okay. And then TC, what? Granted that you don't know that you're getting grabbed and shoved yet. What's your reaction?
Honestly, his first reaction would probably be, are we buckled into the seats?
In fact, your words
that's-
were "everyone buckle up."
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So first reaction is going to be to undo that buckle because I do not want that thing to warp when it gets hit with this wall of force.
Okay.
And then
I'm assuming everyone can do that.
Yeah.
That's not part of your action.
cool. I will. I think his first reaction would be to. I mean, if he's getting up and he's seeing that everyone else is moving and everyone else seems to kind of have the same general goal,
Considering what you all hear is a soft fuck and this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were saying, Zan?
Yeah, I think that TC, if he sees that everybody else is going to be hanging around, or not going to be hanging around, rather, then he's gonna. Yeah, I think at this point it's about minimizing damage. I think his first instinct would be to close the bulkhead.
Okay.
Would be to, like loot, like fuck the bridge. The bridge is gone.
Okay. Now, when Owen grabs you and starts shoving you through the door, does that change your reaction? Or are you going to fight that to try to get to the... Okay.
No.
All right. Then TC and Owen, you get into the main body of the sub. Tamsin, you're able to close the door, but not quite fast enough to get your mouthpiece in as well. Susie, you got your mouthpiece in. You've braced yourself. So the canopy gives way, and freezing cold salt water just floods in real hard. Tamsin, you haven't braced or anything like that, so you get kind of slammed against the bulkhead. You're going to take a little bit of damage from that, not too terribly much. You'll take 7 damage. And then I need a physical fortitude roll to try to hold your breath until you can move again or someone can help you.
Y'all ready for a real low roll?
Oh no.
I have 4.
Okay.
Single digits.
So Susie, it's all up to you. Tamsin's current... Oh, you have advantage, Jay.
Oh, I do have
if you would
advantage.
if you would like to use that.
Please.
I mean, I could.
Susie needs
Oh, good.
Tamsin.
Look at that. Look at that.
Never mind. All right, Susie.
Does
Tamsin's
anyone else
currently
have River
drowning.
of Steel?
Yeah.
Susan's immediate plan was actually to basically immediately look for who doesn't have a mouthpiece in, sees Tamsin, basically uses where she's bracing to launch back and basically grab Tamsin and get the air rebreather in.
Okay.
Just teleport.
Swimming.
That's all I was gonna do. Just teleport us.
Oddly enough, we haven't had to use swimming a whole lot at this
Yeah.
I guess we have
Yeah, I have a stupid amount of
because
swimming.
we stay out of the water.
Yeah.
I have a stupid amount of swimming.
I've still
Now's
been
the time for that skill to shine.
because I know it's coming.
Ooh.
Just waiting for that one
Oh,
to show
River
up
of
again.
Steel? Damn, fuck. I forgot about that one.
I'm gonna laugh so hard if it actually is.
So I have swimming and I have, well, I just have swimming.
Yeah.
This is a reminder.
20.
Take meds.
So close to a 1. Hey, Hope has redeemed an advantage. Is that for Susie, I'm assuming? I'm gonna
What's
assume
that,
so.
Alex? You didn't want someone else dying? Now it's my
Yes.
turn.
All right, so you've got advantage. Do you want to use that? Okay, go ahead.
Pat, we had 4 ones in the last Animus game,
Yeah.
and 2 of them ended up being ignored because they were canceled by the other one.
Was it when we were trying to save Luna that we
Yeah,
got on
I
that
think
one
so.
streak?
There was one
Yeah.
before that too.
Water's been notorious for like long streaks of 1s. Which is oddly fitting for the theme, but
It is. Whoa!
There you go. There you go, nat 20. Do you want to describe how you heroically swim as if you were born in the water and lived there all your life and saved Tamsin's life?
Yes, I would. You suddenly realize why Susie has patterned all of her things together in the way that she has. She looks as if she is part of the water. It is difficult to tell exactly where she is as she flows with the current that is pressing you up against the bulkhead. And suddenly, she's there. This 15-year-old that you hate, you detest, because she is far too smart and far too annoying. And she does shit. Shit that you wish you could have dared to do when you were her age. But you never took that chance. Instead, you went to the stars, you went to your telescopes. And here she is, saving your life. There's something in your mouth. You can breathe again.
Brief interjection there. Wasn't there an episode where Tamsin implied to me she drowned someone?
We're just gonna gloss over that one. That's fine.
Oh my god.
Also, I'd love the idea of Susie being like, I'm doing all the stuff you wish you could have done. And Tamsin's like, you know fuck all about me. I was not born in a laboratory with a telescope in hand. I'm fucking 63.
Well, that's all you've told her about yourself, so she doesn't know any better.
To be fair, Susie also almost teleported the sub to the teleportation room, so
Yeah.
she's smart, but she's dumb.
The real problem is Susie is far too dumb for how smart she is.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
That is entirely Tamsin's problem with Susie.
But she's got a look of gratitude on her face and surprise.
I think one thing we can all take away from this session is that we were one advantage away from a TPK.
Yes, we were.
But Tamsin,
Ooh.
you can breathe again. It's painful because you still have some water in your lungs.
Yeah, so she kind of
But you can breathe.
Once the water's kind of filled the canopy fully and she's not being crushed as much, she'll vent the what is it called? I can never remember what that's called. But when you're basically clearing
it's the mouthpiece, also called the rebreather part.
No, the process, like when you're.
It's called clearing. It's clearing the rebreather.
Yeah, so just clearing that, and then she'll try to like spit as much as she can out and do that, and just kind of do a few cycles of that.
Gotcha.
So she's not breathing water in, and then.
And just to clarify too, the water in the lungs was from before the mask got in place.
I figured, yeah. She's just kind of like clear. She's going through the rhetoric of that because she's panicking because she's underwater.
It's also really freaking cold.
Yeah, there's that. So Tamsin's gonna look at Susie. She's gonna like point at the canopy, and point at the repair tool. If that's still in Susie's hand at all.
Susie's nodding and giving you the repair tool.
Pausing there for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
TC and Owen, you're on the other side of the bulkhead, breathing just fine because you saw Tamsin close it. You know Susie and Tamsin are on the other side. You don't know if they're alive or dead or floated out into water. What's your reaction at the moment?
The bulkhead smartly has no windows on it, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I think TC is gonna kind of like shake his head and try to get his senses back and look at Owen and goes, well, to the Tomes.
I'm sorry, I don't know why To the Tomes sounds so fucking ridiculous.
It does. It really does.
It's the same thing that, two middle-aged men who used to be drinking buddies in college say when they go to Buffalo Wild Wings. To the Tomes.
Oh my god, yeah.
I feel like Patrick said something really funny but was muted. I'm heartbroken about that.
Yeah, mechanical engineering rules from both of you to get those operating and get into the water.
I literally always forget what stat is used to operate these until I'm in it trying to do it.
Okay. Oh, and you're having some trouble getting it out of the bay. But TC, you have no issues at all. Did you want to just sort of use the limited water jets on it to move to the front of the sub? Or are you like using the grapple arm to swing out there?
I'm just gonna try to can I walk around it?
You're not really like on ground at the moment. It's sort of in the middle of some water, so.
Okay. Then
but you can grapple.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. There's some loud thunks as you're, I'm assuming sort of like grappling and swinging.
Mm-hmm.
into position, and yeah, you're able to see Tamsin and Susie working on repairing the canopy.
Okay.
And then Owen, around that time, you can, excuse me, get yours out of the bay and do the same thing.
Okay.
So Susie and Tamsin, you're able to see that there are Tums out there.
Tamsin will just kind of briefly wave while she's trying to fix this broke ass canopy. in the middle of
Susie
a
is
lava tube.
basically trying to like help brace Tamsin so Tamsin doesn't have to move much to
Oh yeah, so you're
window.
just like kind of like,
It's like, hi, I'm better at this. I'm better at moving in the water than you are. Just let me position you.
It's funny because I
Perfect.
don't have a terrible swimming check.
Yeah,
well,
but you
there.
just got hit with a wall of water and
It's true.
like half drowned.
I do have a plus 15 to swimming though.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Considering how little Tamsin's like, nope, I'm
Yeah.
never going in the water.
The few times she has done it, she's got a lot of theory, I suspect. Not a lot of practice, but a lot of theory.
Owen and Tamsin have secretly been doing like dry.
Yeah,
swimming.
exactly. they made a kiddie pool and they're just like, just do laps.
Oh no, they go swimming in the freshwater pool.
A little
Feet
pond.
down.
Don't swim in the water we drink.
It gets filtered. It's fine.
Filtered. Constantly.
I think that's probably Tamsin's. That's like a carryover from Tamsin's youth. Like, don't swim in the pool that you're gonna drink from.
Also, yes, Susie has made a dock out in there so she can go swimming like safely.
Of course.
Oh, of
Um,
course.
what would you want me to roll in?
Mechanical engineering to repair it, yeah. Mech engineering is getting used a lot.
Nat
for this
20.
one. Nice. Yeah, you
I think Tamsin's probably a little smug about that.
Susie is fine with that. She knows she's absolutely crap with this stuff, but she's trying anyway, and she really thought she could. She really did not expect it to break.
All I can think is
Um,
that there's a setting on the repair tool that's like deconstruct instead of reconstruct.
That
could
Oh.
be something like that.
Like,
But yeah,
oh.
you get it put back together perfect, pristine, and because you get it at 20, you even suddenly remember, oh yeah, there's like a bilge pump
That's what I was
function
gonna
in
ask
the
about.
bridge.
Yeah.
You're able to flip that on, it starts pumping the water out of the bridge, and I like to think that that's Bosco is likes to make foolproof systems.
Mhm.
So I'm imagining like the consoles and everything are probably like waterproof.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, if this is a sub that's made to go super deep, they're probably waterproof and they probably have some, pressure compensation.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so the bridge is basic for all intents and purposes restored.
Cool. Aside from the Tamsin-shaped dent in the bulkhead.
Yeah, there's a little dent there, like the handle for the bulkhead's a little warped, but you can still
Yeah.
turn it. It's a little
And,
damp. It
and
smells.
she's a little sore. So
Yeah.
yeah, once the bilge pump is done with everything,
There's-
she'll wave to the two Tums outside like
Okay.
we're good.
There's also like a briny kind of scent in the bridge now that's never coming out.
Yeah, no, okay. Whew.
Oh,
Really gonna hurt the resale value, but
Yeah.
what can you do?
Yeah.
while we're walking back in the little like local channel over to Owen, and I go, Owen, I'm really glad at the outcome of the situation. It could have been a lot worse, but we need to acknowledge that the two of them are going to be in hypothermia, whether they know it or not. Can you get something warm ready real quick?
I will point out we are in wetsuits.
Wetsuits do nothing. Okay, the depth
You're
that
in,
we are currently, you need dry suits. You cannot
Oh yeah, I
do
guess.
wetsuits.
They-
Wetsuits will only keep you warm so much.
Right.
I
This
will
is like-
I will also point out these are fancy futuristic wetsuits
Okay.
that do help. with that.
Science words.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
The
Well,
problem
then-
You
is,
got-
is we
But
do,
we're
You
probably
got
we're
here
probably
in a
still
spaceship.
cold.
the,
Yeah.
the problem is we do still have exposed skin,
Yeah.
especially on our faces.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is
It's-
we're in for that worst ice
It's,
cream
uh,
hangover.
Yeah. It's not gonna be perfect, but you're not. It's not the same as if you're wearing an earth wetsuit, so
Yeah.
you're not quite in as much health danger as
Okay.
that. Just as
Just,
a heads up.
So
Just
once
letting-
you
oh,
go.
sorry.
No, you good.
I was gonna say, yeah, just let no one know that we're, just like when we get inside, it's not relief mode, it's first aid mode.
Okay. Yeah. Is there like a space heater or something in here? Like, do
Oh,
we
yeah,
have
the-
something like a flame.
the-
Okay.
The sub has environmental controls. You can essentially just crank the thermostat way up.
Once the bilge pump is done and everything, Tamsin will take the breather out of her mouth, and then she's gonna hug Susie.
Aw.
Susie
Awesome.
looks. It has just got like
Yeah. You don't do this. You don't ever do this.
she's very confused and is like terrified to hug you back.
Yeah. So Tamsin gets the hint after a few seconds. It just says like a pat on the back after she pulls back, and she's like, "Thank you."
Okay.
Don't-
Are you okay?
And she's shivering a bit, and she's kind of like ow. But I'm okay.
I
Don't-
wish I had ice cream to make this headache worth it.
She's just kind of like, I don't know what.
My head. It feels like when you have too much ice cream. I don't like it.
More ice cream when don't blame yourself for the canopy. It was you did what you could in the moment, and that's not your fault. And she puts a hand on Susie's
Yeah.
shoulder and like
Susie's
dead-eyed
looking
look at her.
so fucking confused right now because she's like, "Who are you and what have you done with Tamsin?" Because
Tamsin just got baptized. Like she literally just got her whole worldview shaken up. So, she's gotten changed, I would say, by the sea.
I think you may have hit your head, Tamsin. Somebody who knows medicine. Oh no, we forgot. Shit, we left Alice. Well, we could. Fuck.
TC's over here like,
Sal is like, is teleporting bad for a concussion?
See, can I just do a basic medicine check, Raven? Just to-
Sure. TC and Owen probably have had time to get back on board as well.
Yeah, Susie's like holding her head because she's got like, what hell, buddy?
16.
16.
Leave off concussions, right?
Yeah, you're not sure.
Okay. Yeah, Tamsin doesn't feel like she's, like fully out of it, but she definitely, she's attributing it more to the fact she almost died than head trauma.
Yeah. Meta knowledge, Tamsin doesn't have a concussion. If anything, it's
figured.
probably some bruised ribs.
Yeah.
But yeah, once everybody's back in, do you keep going deeper?
Yep.
Okay. Then I'm going to sort of pause here, because I'm going to describe the next scene that you see before we end out the season, and then we find out what happens with that later. So before that happens, is there any last thing that Tamsin, Susie, TC, and Owen want to do before that happens? Like, do you want to describe what they do that day or anything like that? You can do that.
Susie documents everything. She's basically pouring through her files. She's slowly building like a research map of the places they've been on the planet.
Okay.
Tamsin is going to write up, because this is so her area of expertise. She's going to write up a procedure for what happens should that or any other catastrophic decompression happen again, and like go over it with everyone, and get everyone's input on it.
Okay.
Because we should probably have a plan. But she's also going to radio back to the island, and let them know A, what happened, and B, let them know we're going to radio check in every 20-30 minutes just in case.
Funny you should mention that.
Mhm.
The radio does work, but it's very crackly and
I
it cuts in
figured,
and out.
yeah.
And you're able to figure out, like, this is pretty much the edge of your radio range. From here
Okay.
on, you're not going to be able to communicate via radio.
I think she'd probably also warn everyone that we may be out of teleportation range.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's better to err on the side of caution for that. But yeah,
Alright.
that I think is all she's doing.
Owen?
I don't know if I have anything else.
Okay.
I'm drawing. I'm drawing out visuals for Tamsin's emergency escape plans, like the emergency maps that are on the back of hotel room doors.
Yeah.
Can I roll art for this with all of the points
Sure.
I've put into art this season?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Oh, if you
Would you
turn
like
your
to add a
fantastic.
Would you like to add a d6 onto that?
No, I just want really bad maps for this summer.
Okay.
Oh my god, we're gonna have Owen's bad maps in the submarine, and Susie's geographically correct but not necessarily pretty maps
Yeah.
of the island.
There's no
Owen-
sense of scale to these things.
Owen's looks a bit like it was drawn with crayon. But it's at least understandable. TC, how about you?
Honestly, I think TC's gonna be quiet, and I think he's gonna listen to the sound of chatter going on as through like the frequent radio check-ins and the discussion about plans and where to put things and what are we going to do in this situation that everybody is kind of formulating amongst themselves. And he's listening. He is listening to him. He's not super taken apart unless he's asked something specifically. But this just, it feels new, but it feels real comfortable. And I think he's just going to kind of like smile a little bit and maybe like rub at the corner of his eye for just a second and keep going, keep driving down the tunnel.
Love that. It's so wholesome. All right. As you continue down through this cavern, there's a few more, notes of that strange noise that the creature made, the crab squid-like thing. But since you know now not to turn the lights on, if you just sort of power down the engine a little bit so it's quieter, you find that they pretty much leave you alone. You do still hear that EMP sort of shockwave here and there, but it's not anywhere near the sub, and so you can assume that they're doing something either in how they hunt food, or got scared by something else. But you're able to get through everything without any real issue from then on. A couple of close calls where you can actually see them through the window, and it's really creepy and scary. But physically, you're all fine.
Susie has taken so many pictures.
I'm sure. And then as you continue to get deeper, the rock surface sort of seems to change. There's less of that glowing blue moss carpet kind of a thing, and more just like starting to get kind of green in color. Little clumps of bioluminescent just stuff kind of growing. And oddly, the temperature gauge on the outside shows that the water's getting either really, really cold or really warm. And you're able to see that there's some what looks like thermal vents that you pass by, and that's where the warm water's coming from. And as you kind of come into this new biome, if you will, properly, you hear what sounds like it could probably only be described as like a banshee wailing kind of a sound. And it's very disconcerting. And as you continue a little bit further, it becomes less of a weird sort of honeycomb kind of tunnel with coral crisscrossing and things like that, and more of just like a tube. Definitely getting closer to where the hotter magma was that came through here thousands of years ago. And that banshee wailing gets louder until you have to sort of turn the sub around a corner in this tunnel. And that's when you see something that looks a lot like the Kraken Viper, but it's more translucent and terrifying, with more tentacles around its mouth than the Kraken Viper has. And it starts lunging towards the sub with those tentacles ready to just latch on.
May I please do a naturalist roll?
Nope, because that's where we're going to end. So we'll find out what happens next season. But hold on to that thought, because assuming something, catastrophic doesn't happen, absolutely, you could make a naturalist roll. But yeah, that's where we're going to end with this ghostly looking...
Just hang on to that thought for the next 6 months.
Yeah, it's fine. It's still 4. It's fine. But yeah, we'll come back to that next season, which will be let's see, September is when that'll start for that one.
You cannot kill her on my birthday. My birthday is September 6th. Please do not kill any of us on my birthday.
I don't plan to.
I volunteer for tribute.
That's a Monday.
Yeah, it'll be the day after
Won't
your birthday.
matter.
It'll be fine.
Oh yeah, I'm fine with that.
Birthday month that counts.
Yeah.
No. It's just my birthday. I don't do the whole birthday month
I
thing.
mean, you can kill Tamsin on my birthday. That's a treat.
Well, that's your birthday, not my birthday.
I'll put it this way. I'm not going to kill any characters. Their decisions might kill them, but I'm not going to.
Please
Or roll 20.
don't remind me. Of
Or
how
roll
I
20
almost,
might, yeah.
Please don't remind me how I almost PK'd us halfway through the flippin' episode.
Oh gosh, that was definitely one of those like, oh, I fucked up moments. I loved that. We're gonna talk about our favorite parts and everything before we go on a raid here in just a second. What was I gonna say? So for Allison and Lyle and everything, I'm just gonna say that if they would like to, when those players are back, hopefully for the next season of Water, they can teleport onto the sub before the scary scene I just described happens.
Yeah, we probably
so
teleported there because Susie is convinced Tamsin has a concussion.
Yeah, that makes sense. Something
Maybe
like
they
that.
wait and see how this scene plays out.
They're absolutely welcome to do that as well.
4 people just woke up in the fridge. Weird.
All right.
Do you think
yeah,
they
Oh
have
my
a
lord,
betting-
that would be terrifying though, because it would be like a complete fresh batch new people from the fridge as they come up and they find the teleport room and they find the philosopher who has to explain our bullshit.
and what the crab legs hanging from the ceiling are.
It'll just be
Oh,
Allison's
no.
classroom.
And the only one who really knows what all is going on is Lyle and Quackers. Oh, but we'll find out. So going around saying what our favorite parts are, where we can find folks next, and anything else they want to share or plug. We'll start with reverse order. So we'll start with Jay. Those questions that I just said.
Yeah. God. I mean, from this episode, the whole thing. Like, I can't pick a specific favorite part. Aside from maybe Owen and the philosopher, those interactions might just inch into the front of my favorite bit. But this whole thing, it was one of the most roller coaster episodes I've ever had, and I loved it. But I would also say, like, season wise, I loved how much we got done, because like the first season we didn't really get that much done. We kind of like holed up in a half made piece of a ship and then got to an island and kind of half-assed a base there. But this season, yeah, it was nice to see us really put our thoughts into action rather than just like kind of hemming and hawing over them. And nobody died this season, right? Nobody died.
Yeah, nobody did.
Yeah, because Boris died at the end of last.
Boris did.
Was that the start of this season? I thought that was last.
Was that the start of last season?
I thought it was the end of last season.
No, it was the very start of this season.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
okay. So
We got a lot.
we got a lot
yeah,
done, and
Also-
almost nobody died.
We gained 2 party members.
So
That's true.
honestly, it was just seeing like the Ryland, seeing the island, seeing all this new tech, seeing where Tamsin went, seeing where everyone went as characters, getting to know TC more. I'm really happy that Wilfred's not part of the group anymore because I love playing with Zan and I love getting to have that interaction that isn't just constantly antagonistic.
Yeah,
I
I admit.
love Wilfred as a character.
I like Wilfred as a character concept, but honestly, TC has been so fucking good for Susie.
Yeah,
Like, holy
he's
fucking
been good
shit.
for all of us. Really, he's been a good source of. Hey, can you all cut the bullshit?
Yeah.
Between TC and Allison, sorry.
Yeah.
They have managed to stop Susie's more what is death nature of being a teenager.
Mm-hmm. And they've helped with tempering Tamsin's horrible antisocial nature to some degree. But yeah, I didn't think this is what this season would turn into, and I'm really happy with how it came out.
Same.
Yeah. Yeah, other than that, where you can find me next will be the finale of Animus Absentus on Saturday with Alex, which proves to be probably just as rip-roaring as this one. And yeah, other than that, you can find me on Twitter, on itch.io. Next season, you can find me back for Animus on Saturdays. And then, do we have a name for the game that's replacing this one?
Yes.
Okay. You can find me back here on Tuesday evenings, same time
I
slot.
can tell you, 1 sec.
Okay.
What did Calliope say it was gonna be? Standing Stones, I think, is the working title right now.
Cool. So yeah, you can find me back here 6 p.m. for Standing Stones on Tuesdays. Yeah.
Awesome. Once again, go give Econorlax a follow on Twitter and Twitch. He's fantastic. Unfortunately, wasn't able to be here tonight, but I know he's going to be back for Neon Devils 2 next season. I think that's.
Yeah, I'm
the
pretty sure
one
that's
show
it.
that he's
Yeah.
in. So yeah, can't wait for that also. And then Pat, favorite part, where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I have favorite part of the episode. I'm not sure. The whole episode, like Jason, was just. It was like nonstop fun. I thought. It's just the. I don't know. Teleporting the crap. Maybe. I was like, well, this is probably the moment that Owen dies, but it'll be fun, and then it worked. And so,
It was
yeah,
pretty
and I
great.
mean, gosh, even this season, I don't know what I would pick as a favorite moment. I've really enjoyed that. I feel like Owen, I've been able to solidify a lot more, especially in the last couple of episodes, kind of what he's about. And I mean, yeah, we've just gotten the character interactions have been so great too. I don't know that Allison has I feel like Allison has tried to temper Owen, and I feel like he's corrupted her a little bit. But like the interactions with Tamsin and TC, guilting him into responsibility, I think is how we would phrase it. And then yeah, the relationship with Susie this season just becoming like very much more just like bickering siblings. Oh my! And
The best part about it though is they bicker while getting shit actually done, and they just.
I feel like we spent so much time in character this season was just like, no, we do this, but it works. Just trust us on it, new people.
Especially like I think at one point, so Allison was telling us to stop, and we're like, no, it works better if we argue about it.
Oh my god! I mean, this whole fucking season, there was the Tamsin and Owen episode where it was just us exploring and thinking we made clones and shit. We found that was that the first time we used the teleporter.
It was. I think it was.
Yeah, I think so.
No,
I totally forgot about that.
I'll just keep gushing, but like that's just all of it.
Awesome.
Yeah, you can find me next. I think on Sunday on my channel with Ruby Tooth Bay, our Urban Shadows second edition campaign. Zan's there. I see historian Leland and Nikki are there. It's a lot of fun. It's Florida people crazy with magic and wizards and werewolves. And I will be back next season also on name of the show that I definitely remember.
Standing Stones.
Standing
Yeah.
Stones. Yeah.
I totally forgot you were in that. Yeah.
I did too. I was like, I was mentally going through the cast. Like, I know Pat's in next season. What show was it? Yes, that's the Tuesday game. Yeah. Awesome. And Zan, same questions.
Yeah. So this is gonna be a strange one, but my favorite aspect of this episode was really the cinematography. And it's gonna sound like I'm absolutely nuts when I say the cinematography, but everything that happened was between groups of two people. Every major scene that happened, there was a group of two. If it was the like the bullshit with teleporting the crab, like, okay, yeah, that was Owen teleporting a crab, but really that was about the interaction at the end of it between Owen and the philosopher, and the moment between Owen and TC while they were on the bridge smoking together in silence, and the moment of Tamsin and Susie out there like kind of doing the risky shit on their own. Like, I really appreciated all of the interactions that we got, because we got to see the human side of the characters. Like, we're never consistently the same person. We do have to change ourselves to those around us, and we got to see our characters actively doing that and being the people that they needed to be based on who was with them. It showed real empathy and like real attachment to the characters, and I really appreciated that. And as far as like, and I don't know, like I since I went into this season playing Wilfred, which became really difficult, like really quick, with the power creep of his abilities and the general kind of like detachment that he was going through. Like, I kind of decided to play more a mechanical character than I had like really a character ready to play. So I just kind of built something that was useful, and I've been just so delighted to see the kind of character that TC turned out to be throughout the course of play, because we all kind of really got to know him at the same time. And yeah, no, it's just been the interactions throughout this whole season, and because we weren't so focused on survival like we were last season, we really got to see, like, okay, so what are we doing when we're not on the brink of starvation? What are we doing when we're not dehydrated? What are we doing when we're not vomiting off the side of the fucking tub floating in the ocean? Like, what can be our normal? I just really appreciated that. It was a really good time. And as for where you can find me next, I'm over on Polished Cryptid channel on Tuesday and Friday mornings. If you want to call 4 o'clock in the morning, I am going to be doing some cool stuff with. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm in that Ruby Tooth Bay game. That is correct. I'm also in that at the moment. I too am in the standing stones, the still stones. I'm in that too. So you'll get to see, a good chunk of this interaction going down next season. And I mean, realistically, like, I'm still pretty keyed up after this bullshit, so I'm probably gonna go over to my channel and stream like a cooldown game or something, so I can get rid of the jitters. So I'm probably gonna go like play some Final Fantasy IX or something here once this is done. So you can find me there then.
Awesome. All right, and then last but not least, Alex, favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share? Plug?
Uh, I don't know. I gotta agree with Zan on the cinematography, though. I wasn't even thinking of the two-person part. I was actually thinking about how Raven framed everything in the description. So mentally, it was very vivid to me just how cramped, how claustrophobic so many of the situations were, and how terrifying they actually were, and also at the same time absurd. Like, we are on an alien planet in a submarine covered in rock metal scales, going down through supervolcano lava tubes to a geothermal plant that does not allow technology inside of it. Mind you, this is after we have been compounded by an alien jail.
Yep.
And attempt forcible recruitment through the alien captors who transcribes their brains digitally to shapes and are now a collective mind, except not really. We are in such an absurd place, and just everybody was painfully human. Like, there was vulnerability. There were points where I was crying from laughing so fucking hard. I'm still having issues with my eyes, but there was like parts where I was tearing up because, oh my god, my fucking heart right now. Like, when TC had that moment where he realized, I like this. This is comfortable. My heart aches so fucking bad. Zan, why do you do this to me? I'm queer. I live for found family.
Is what a no.
Yeah. Ugh. Sorry, even just thinking about it makes me tear up. I'm sorry. That moment just fucking hit me where it hurts. This season really let me know that I do not have control of my character. That's what this season was for me. Discovering that, oh no, I'm just in for this child has no forethought. Only after. Fuck. And she's been around too much death already that she is both terrified of it happening to somebody else and also fearless of it happening to herself. Because if she dies, just somebody else will just come up.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. But I don't mean a mouthful of curry.
That's all right. I'm still I still find it really funny that Susie almost died because she wouldn't let go of a grass mat during a hurricane.
Oh, that was I was just like, I need to get I remember having to actually think about it, because I know, let go of the fucking grass mat.
Yeah.
But I was like, Susie's freaking the fuck out right now. These are like the only things she thinks she can be useful to people with right now. There's no way in hell she's letting go of this thing. Fuck.
Yep.
Because for a while there, Susie honestly thought that everybody thought she was useless. Like, she honestly, starting the season, thought everybody thought that she was just a useless tag along to Boris.
Boy, it's almost like there was a character that was really good at gaslighting.
Yep. I
Yep.
recognized it out of character enough that it didn't. It was enough that I recognized what it was, but it was not triggering me because I've had issues with that before. But I recognized it. I was like, oh, I know that what this is gonna do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so having positive reinforcement from people who are fresh to knowing her has been good. Whatever the fuck just happened to Tamsin, Susie's very, very worried about Tamsin. Like, Susie is like legit worried about Tamsin because Tamsin should be blaming her for this. She almost killed her. Yeah,
That's good stuff.
you can find me on the finale of Animus Absentis on Saturdays, and then back again next season with Animus Absentis again on Saturday, as well as kind of wherever people drag me to. I like playing co-op games with people if they ever want it. I like Don't Starve Together. It's my anxiety game. It's controlled anxiety. I can turn it off.
That's fair. I was gonna say that game just gives me anxiety.
Oh, it does. It does. But once you get into a role, you get these lulls, and then anxiety, and then lulls, and it's just right.
You know another game gives you controlled anxiety? It's Subnautica.
It's true. It's true.
Very true. I do play because second game came out. It's fully dropped now.
Oh, excuse me.
May, isn't it?
I thought it was already dropped.
I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
I don't understand controlled anxiety. Why? No, there's no. All anxiety is bad. No.
It's kind of like how we explore trauma through tabletop games because it's not real trauma that we have to deal with.
Exactly.
I get it.
let me work out some issues by shoving them into a character.
Yeah.
Yes, but you can also find me on Twitter mostly, sometimes on Twitch at Can Chaos Art. I draw. As I said, I'm kind of looking into doing some poster-sized prints. If people want to let me know through what art pieces they'd be interested in, that comment on the art piece in question on the Twitter.
All right. That just leaves me favorite part of the session. I'm gonna have to do for each character. For Tamsin, I think it's probably the whole thing at the bulb plant with Susie. Like Tamsin's reaction to Susie's actions. That was just quintessential Tamsin. Like all aspects, it was great. The hurry the fuck up, and oh my god, I can't believe this, and then at the same time it's like, oh, I gotta save the kid. You know, it was great. It was a great Tamsin moment. For Owen, definitely teleporting the crab squid thing and the interaction with the philosopher there, that was just priceless. That was really good. Also saving TC was pretty cool. I think for TC, probably oddly enough, not anything that TC did like necessarily heroically or like heavy mechanic wise. It was the conversation between TC and Owen while Tamsin and Susie were out getting them, almost getting themselves killed. That moment I thought was really good, and yeah, the quiet observation at the end and just realizing like, I like this. That was great. And then Susie almost TPKing at an hour and a half in. That was amazing. And that definitely gave me the reaction of like, well, I'm very okay with all of these characters dying, but I need to space it out a little bit. And then just that dilemma of like, what do I do? So you kind of broke me on that, and that was great. But also, Susie just being so head empty, no thoughts, only adventure, is such a fun thing to watch. And then Susie's also great with the pretty much the immediate, brain empty, no thoughts, only adventure, and then oh crap, consequences, and then her reactions to that and trying to help everybody it's great. Susie's just a great character. And for the season, I really enjoyed being able to reveal little things along the way as you discovered them. This particular season of this game lent itself well to a lot of that. Of here's this
Raven,
little interesting.
It took us 3 episodes to read the goddamn book.
Yeah, Pat just a chat said, did you read the books yet? The books notwithstanding, me going, hey, read the damn books. That aside, the rest of it, like getting to reveal the Rylands and finally getting to explain why those weird rocks were in the pond and why it was, why Susie's arm healed so fast and all that stuff. So it was a lot of fun to build brand new lore that wasn't based on a popular video game or anything like that. Build that into this same kind of setting and then have you all slowly find it. I'm amazed that I was able to keep my mouth shut the whole season, not just be like, this is what this thing is. So it was a lot of fun and seeing your reactions to all those different things. Also, yeah, the staircase with Owen, Tamsin giving us an NPC in a game that was supposed to have practically no NPCs. was great. And me having to be like, crap, I need an interesting character out of thin air. Which ended up with Luna, which I really enjoy that character. If not more in this game, other iterations of that character will show up later, I'm sure. But yeah, just watching you all do things that I didn't really expect. I didn't expect the whole season to be on the island for the most part. I thought it was really funny that it's called water and there was very little in the water stuff happening. But it was good. That's not a complaint by any means. Yeah, I just thought the whole thing was fantastic, and you all do such a good job with your characters and acting and story building and everything. It was just fantastic. I appreciate all of you.
What was the Allison moment?
Oh yeah, Allison moment absolutely is the the oh my god, oh my god, oh my gods, and absolutely the just kind of incredulously watching you all interact. Econorelax did that so well. Played that character amazingly, and I really enjoyed seeing that little bit of common sense that Allison brought to the group, and the sort of the character almost kind of grounded the group a little bit.
She was the kindergarten teacher we all needed.
Yep, exactly. And yeah, Econorelax is fantastic. And yeah, thank you for reminding me, Zan. Because yeah, that character is great, and Econorelax is fantastic too. Yeah, I think that's there's definitely more, but that's all I can think of off the top of my head for highlights at the moment. Where you can find me next will be tomorrow for our season finale of Exodus. We're finally going to do the heist this episode. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then that's going to be a little bit of a weird one. That's going to overlap a little bit with next season, so we'll have a few more episodes after that before the whole series finishes out. But tomorrow is going to be a pretty big episode. And then after that, we got the Star Wars finale on Thursday, Beyond the Wall on Friday at noon, and then Saturday will be Time Travelers and Animus finales as well. Other stuff to share or plug is Fundamental RPG, which looks like this. This is the system that this game was built on, as well as Animus, and we've got 4 shows next season that are running on this. Animus, Standing Stones, I am drawing a blank on the Friday night game, but it's going to be a surreal horror. It has a name. I'm just my brain's fried. I can't think of it. And then Wednesday night games are going to be a paranormal investigation game. So 4 games on that system. You can really run anything from high fantasy to sci-fi and everything in between, as we're demonstrating next season for sure. So definitely go pick up a copy if you want a tabletop game that lets you kind of tell your own story how you want to tell it, and gives you a lot of flexibility. You can pick that up at Amazon for the physical copy, or at coffee.com/raven/shop for the digital copy, and for character sheets that are, you can print those out, or there's a form fillable PDF. The character sheets are free, and then the PDF is obviously at a discount from the printed version. There's links there in chat for those as well. And then Intrepid, which is adventuring gear for real life. There's a bunch of really cool stuff there, athletic and casual wear. There's some cool like jackets and stuff, mugs, mouse pads, and water bottles. Just did. I'll be adding more, but currently there's a Pride bi flag colors and trans flag colors versions of 20-ounce water bottles that are pretty cool. They're really nice quality, and the colors on it are obvious enough that you can have that representation, but they're also kind of subtle. So if you happen to not be out yet and you still want a piece of something that expresses that, they're also pretty subtle in that regard as well. Yeah, cool stuff that you can check out there. It's at coffee.com/raven/shop. And then if you want to check out the rest of this season, the prior episodes, or any other shows that have been on the channel, you can do that at the Fantasy Network, which is just watch.thefantasy.network. Go to Stream Library, look for Black Feather Guild, and that's where all of our content is. And I think that's everything. So we've got our raid cry, which is a crab chandelier basically. And we're gonna go raid. Just make sure they're still live. Looks like they are. Yes, we're gonna go raid Nerdsmith, or We Are Nerdsmith. Seems particularly fitting that their current episode is called Sink or Swim. So we're gonna go say hi over there. Throw the raid cry into chat. You can copy and paste it, and give them a follow if you're not doing so already, because they're all pretty awesome over there. And then I will see you all.
Raven, can I plug a thing real quick? I totally forgot. I'm so sorry. So I'm in a Kickstarter, and its last week is we've got 7 days left on it. It's called Rock and Roll, a quarterly 5e zine. We're on Kickstarter. I keep saying I'm going to post it to my Twitter, and I very rarely do because all of the anxieties and things, but it is really cool, and I did do some objectively really good work that's in it. So
objectively, it's wonderful.
It's so yeah, if you like what I do, you should check that out. Tell them you're a fan of Zan, and maybe we'll see me pop up a little bit more often in the future.
Awesome.
That's my whole thing.
I second the go check it out for sure. There's the link in chat there. Rock and Roll, a quarterly 5e zine looks like the name of it. So if you're watching this, I guess within 7 days of the broadcast, you can go check that out on Kickstarter. And if it's after that, I'm sure if you go to Zan's Twitter, there'll be some sort of link to find.
I'll keep you updated. Yeah.
I highly recommend doing that though. All right, so we're gonna go on a raid. We've got the raid cry, and we're gonna go raid We Are Nerdsmith, and then I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.